What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. 24 hours removed from yesterday's result against Man City. By the way, ladies and gents, big up to every single one of you watching. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. Big up to every single one of you watching in the future. You guys smashed up the like on the last video, the review for the Man City game. If you haven't checked out that review, that stream, be sure to check it out. We're at 88 likes on that video, so I would love it if you guys can go show some love and support, get it to 100 likes. That'd be amazing, because you guys have been killing it with the algorithm. It's been helping out tremendously, and I just want to keep that momentum going, because soon with that momentum we'll keep expanding on the channel, keep growing the channel. It helps us out tremendously. Like, you guys don't understand how much I appreciate when you go out of your way just to do that small little favor, and it does help with the growth of the channel tremendously. Also, last stream I did have to leave quickly, so as a result I wasn't able to give the member shout outs like I normally do at the end of the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick moment to do that right now in the beginning, because we did have also some new members. I have to update this list, but we're gonna do the shout outs right now and then at the end as well. But shout out to CAA Mafia, SDFC Benny, Adam CFC, Pels, EPL Turf, A Soliman, TM127, Hassan Nawaz, Dark EE, Adrian, Soliman, Hassan Nawaz, Dark EE, Adrian. Big up to you guys for being, Cement Mixer Gang crew. So OGs right there who have been with us for a while. And big up to everyone in the chat. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like buttons if you're here right now. If you're just tuning in, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out the memberships, helps us out tremendously. We're going to get some new emojis in there very soon for you guys. We have 2 Olivers in the mix because, we just want to celebrate. But yeah. That being said, we got a bit of news going on for you guys, some nice discussion. So if you're enjoying the discussion, like I said, smash up the like button. And also, I am curious, if you are watching this in the future and you haven't smashed up the like button, let me know why. Leave a comment down below. All right, but let's get to it. Let's start off with the first topic that I have for you guys. And there's not much slow stuff happening, so we'll get pretty much straight into transfer talk. We are closing in on the transfer window. I believe a week left to it, pretty much, because it ends on the 3rd. So yeah, just about a week from tomorrow is when the transfer window will close. And we have a rumor. We'll call it a rumor for a goalkeeper. So we have a small rumor here from Alex Crook, is a goalkeeper target from Parma. So we have here Simon Phillips tweeting out that Chelsea continue to track the progress of a £40 million rated Parma goalkeeper in Zion Suzuki. I don't know much about this. I'll be honest with you. At £40 million from Parma, I don't know if this is the answer. Let's actually do a little bit of research right now while we're on stream. Let's look up Zion Suzuki.
So many tabs.
Yes, this is how we run the show here.
A lot of pornography, man.
A lot of it.
22
Japanese professional footballer who plays as a goalkeeper for Parma.
How tall is he?
Fun fact.
He is 6'3".
Okay.
Japanese American.
Fun fact. United were trying to get him before he went to Parma.
So he is 22. And he has played in Japan, played in Belgium for a bit, then went back to Japan, played in Belgium, from Belgium, then went to Parma. And Parma, as of right now, what position are Parma in? I can actually just look at...
I got an app where...
I'm going to say... Oh, he's from Newark, New Jersey. What the hell? That's crazy. Shout out to RSM, bro.
Yeah, man, he's
Wait,
trash.
Parma,
Trash.
what's the club called? Parma what?
Parma.
Yeah,
Parma. P-A-R-M-A, Chris. P-A-R-M-A.
Yeah,
6 plays, not bad.
No, 16 to 1-6-1.
16! That's horrible. Oh, shit, dude. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I watch the Serie A like I used to. They have an 11 goal difference.
Yeah.
Let's look into this a
No,
little
it
more.
would say like how many goals there on the sheet, like.
Goals against is 39.
Oh, damn.
It's not the highest.
Just
40 million.
You ref on a stat to see if he's
Yeah, if we ref up, yeah.
Okay.
And now we're trying to get him on whilst he was playing in the Japanese league.
What
A
would
few
they
ref,
back
here we
away for a reason then?
No, because he refused to go there. Said he wanted to improve himself, so he went to farm instead.
Damn,
Okay,
man,
so
imagine.
90% out cross claiming.
What?
Oh my god.
Curry knows how to read these stats.
Chris.
You're very quiet for me. I don't know. I don't know if it's quiet for you guys or.
He's a little quiet,
Yeah.
but usually
Yeah,
keeps his voice down. That's
I
why.
think Curry Pryor is really
Like you're
quiet
far
right
away
now.
from the mic.
He's hidden somewhere, bro.
I've been kidnapped by Rob Sanchez. Sorry.
Oh wow, that's what happens when all the shit talking. He's coming after everyone
Got
now.
links in Canada.
He's got links, yeah. Apparently. I mean, Curry, based on these stats, what do you think, man?
He looks like he's good at cross claiming.
That's
90%
great.
foul.
Crosses stop. That's not bad.
Touches. I guess he's comfortable with the ball in his feet. I don't know how good he is in terms of passing with the ball right now, but
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't have
I'll be honest, man.
just say
You
potential.
stop going after kids again. Another child.
Oh, this is
Another one that needs to be developed.
Also,
Not the
why-
3-year process.
Why the hell are we going after 22-year-old when we have a 23-year-old in Strasbourg doing well? Why the
Yeah.
fuck?
Another 3-year
Because
process.
It's a
I can't wait, lad, man. I can't wait
It's
to
a
start
link.
the process again.
Megatron,
grind.
Megatron, I can understand you.
I can't wait,
Megatron, you
man.
need a better mic, please.
Let's go, man. Let's build him up, man. Come on, let's get him ready. Come on,
We need
man.
we need a clear link to
Why can't we just
fund
go for like
Oliver's
something like
new
a
mic.
Kobo or something? What's wrong with a Kobo? Or like
They're
Like
probably gonna
Costa.
want a lot of money.
Too old.
he's like 27, isn't he?
It also cost us ass.
Look at the model. Look at the model, Chris. It's too old.
No, like keeper man, like he's a keeper. Like he's got another like 6 years to 8 years probably.
Chris, you're making sense. That's the problem. You're making sense. These
27, I
boys
knew, I
don't.
got it right, man. I just thought 27. I got a
No
bang on.
one who watches the Portuguese league week in, week out is like, let's get Diego Costa. People who don't watch that league are like, oh yeah, that's a brand name I know. Let's get Diego Costa.
Yeah, I don't see as many green here as Suzuki, man.
Well, he has better touches.
Can't be him.
Because
Yeah.
Better touch if he plays for a better team.
he's less than.
I've seen him a fair few times, man. He's done incredible saves, but
No, I've heard Kobo's a fantastic kid.
maybe
but
this
it's
season. I haven't heard too much this
He's just
season.
not good
But-
with his feet. He's just not good with his feet.
But the thing
No,
is, like,
yeah,
I here's the thing, and this is like,
20% in launches. That's like Rob Sanchez, dude. Fucking hell.
I personally, when it comes to this whole goalkeeper situation, you guys have heard me say it over and over again. To me, I think they're batting down the hatches and putting all their stocks on Penders, because to me, like, I don't know. The logical guy in me, and Oliver alluded to this, right? We have goalkeepers that are of this age bracket. We don't need to go out and buy another goalkeeper. We need to recall a Petrovic. Well, okay, you can solve it by buying another goalkeeper, sure. But I think in terms of like, if you want to save money and not break FFP and do all this PSR bullshit, then just bring back Petrovic in the summer. You saw he's improved in his passing stats. He's a good keeper there. If you want to wait on Salina, if you want to wait on Penders, then you got Petrovic, who's already played in the Premier League. He's doing well for Strasbourg. Strasbourg in general they're having a really good turnaround to their season, because I think not too long ago, Ahmed, remind me.
40 million for Petrovic.
It could. That's the thing that I'm worried about. I'm worried that they're just gonna flip him for profit, because that's what it looks like. But Ahmed, remind me. Actually, both Ahmed and Curry Pie, remind me. 2 months ago, I think Strasbourg were in a rough position. They were close to the
right now,
relegation.
Marshall, are
They're
3
undefeated
points
since
from
November.
Europe. They're 3 points just away from you. They're 1 game away, bro. And to be honest, the team that's already in Europe right now is gonna get relegated basically to League 2, sorry, I should say. Right? So, bro, they could be getting at minimum Conference League football, if not Europa League, bro. Because the Europa League is only like 4 points away from them, if I'm not mistaken as well.
How many? It's 2 slots, right? It's it's three slots for Champions League, right? In Ligue 1.
I think it's 2, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think they only
Isn't
get
it?
2.
Let me double check.
I thought it was 3, because
They
usually
get, so
it's
basically
usually
what
Lille,
they get 2, and then the third one I think is like, you know, like how fourth spot used to
like
be
a
that
playoff.
Yeah, it's a
Playoff.
playoff. Yeah, I think the third one's a playoff.
No, they get 3. I'm looking at it right now. They get 3.
The three?
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So there's
Some
three,
of
and then the
playoff
fourth
ones.
one's a playoff.
The fourth one, yeah, is like
I think it's either playoff or Europa League one. It's one of those
fourth
two.
is playoff, and then
Hmm.
fifth, yeah.
But listen,
Fifth is
don't worry,
European
man.
Conference.
These guys are only 3 points away, man. They could be making it out of the hood. But hey, Chelsea Nation, don't worry, man. We're not making it out of the hood, man. Chelsea. Don't worry, man. Well, listen, I can't wait, man. I can't wait, man. Can't wait. That 40 million for Petrovic to Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. They already have the
Bro,
other.
what is it with Nottingham Forest and Strasbourg keepers?
Don't worry, man.
That I do not know. That this is.
You know, I actually got to meet Sales in real life, by the way. The previous
Mm.
when we were playing Forest, I was behind his goal.
Oh, damn.
Oh, nice. Actually, since we're on the topic of Strasbourg, I might as well transition over to this next topic. Santos. So, obviously, as you guys know, we read a bit of a tweet the other day about they're kind of looking at that midfield position and Santos and Nkunku as a last resort. It's uncertain. It hasn't been completely shut off or off the table. It is a possibility. It unlikely. Who knows? There's like I said, another week left to the window. But there was a bit of a tweet here that I kind of wanted to bring to the discussion in terms of Santos. So Fabrizio Romano saying here, Chelsea is delighted with Andre Santos' development at Strasbourg. 7 goals scored in 18 Ligue 1 games as a center mid. He's always been considered a key part of Chelsea's future project, as Chelsea rejected bids from several clubs last summer. Also, you know, how do I word this? Apologies or my condolences, I guess, to Santos, because his house did get robbed during that little game.
Some people are saying it's a lie, bro. I don't know if you saw. Someone said it was they're lying, man. You know what I mean? So,
Delusional
That's,
people.
I'll be back.
It's a weird
Let's
thing
not
to
go
lie
into
about,
that.
to be honest. Yeah, it's a weird.
I'm
thing
just
to lie
letting people
about.
know, man. Don't worry, man. That's how crazy some idiots are. That's the point.
Yeah. But hopefully, you know, no one got hurt. Hopefully that gets.
It looks like no one got hurt. He just lost some value.
Yeah.
From his post, it seems like it was just like property theft.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they basically came to the house, at least from what he was saying, while he was actually playing the game. So you know, like how Di Maria, for
It happens a
example,
lot like that, doesn't
happens.
it?
Di Maria
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Paris, right? When he played for PSG, they robbed his house, although his family was there at the time they got robbed. While he was playing the game.
They always do it like like when the player's always out, like in different country playing or when
How
they're
about
playing
is
the game.
this?
I remember Sterling had a robbery during the World Cup as well.
Yeah. It happens a lot. It's kind of crazy. But
That's what happens, man. Stop doing these insta things, man. That's what I tell the man them. No insta thing, bro.
Bro, Reece James lost his UCL medal because of someone robbed him.
Saying, bro. That's why you gotta keep the insta thing on lock.
But one thing I wanted to bring into the discussion table is Strasbourg in general. So all of us have been monitoring the transfer window, and obviously we'll be talking about a few links to Strasbourg and stuff, such and such. Do you guys? So in my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna put it out there, lay it out, and you guys tell me what you think. So, observing this transfer window, it seems that Clear Lake are kind of focusing a little bit more on Strasbourg in terms of moves and signings. We've seen them get loans. I think 1 or 2 players have been signed for them so far in the window already. And things have been pretty quiet on that front as well. Early onset, we all remember the riots, the ultras being against the move and all that. But as we speak right now, Strasbourg are in 6th place, I believe, in Ligue 1. 9th place, I'm sorry. 9th place in Ligue 1. Only a few points actually from the top 6. Lyon sit there with 30 points, Strasbourg with 27. So, you know, Lyon losing a game and Strasbourg winning them puts them in a good position to get into Europe. Considering how close it is and considering it's another club of Clear Lakes, I know we want to focus in on Chelsea this, Chelsea that, because we're Chelsea fans and not Strasbourg fans, but do you guys think that maybe right now because of the money that was invested over the summer, because of how much attention Chelsea got last season. For this window, is kind of Strasbourg getting a bit of a shared attention or a shared investment from Clear Lake to kind of bolster them as well?
No.
You guys kind of get where I'm alluding to?
I get what you're saying, but the reason why they're doing what they're doing for Strasbourg, I think it's quite clear because they clearly need Strasbourg to be a farming model for themselves, to get talent and then build up that talent and get them the European experience. Remember, that's something that we've spoken about in regards to like the multi-club model, right, bro? So
Yeah.
I think from that front, that's probably why they're doing what they're doing there. But the thing is, like, they're not even spending the money they're spending there. I think they've already spent like 60 million euros in the summer. And then what they've done is they've brought one or two players. They brought quite a few players for low prices, but they're like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, or within that range. They've not been buying them like any older players. Does that make sense, Marshall? So,
but I mean, even you know, I didn't really intend to bring this into today's show, but even you just mentioned that the older player stuff, like even links like that I'm seeing today from Footy Mercato. We had this that broke out today. Apparently, Strasbourg wants to sign Fabio Carvalho. Bluecoat Club had made a loan offer to Brentford, which was rejected, but they plan to return with a new bid in coming days. Now, I'm not saying we need Fabio Carvalho.
You know how old Fabio Carvalho is, Marshall? How old is Fabio Carvalho?
I think he's in his mid-20s, right? He's not like older.
He's only 22, bro. He's 21 or 22, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Okay, so he's 22. I'm not saying he's the answer for Chelsea, but he's not a bad player.
No, but I don't think he again. I don't think he's of our level right now, right? But like the point I'm trying to make there, you look at what they're doing, bro. Anything they get for Strasbourg, they're looking to increase his price, actually help the team, get them some level of like experience, and then them. That's what Strasbourg is for them, essentially, right? Because they're trying to use that as a farming system, like a farming team, where they can be like a mid-table side there, get some European football, and then look to move the players on either to Chelsea or then so they can get flipped.
What do the rest of you guys think?
Well, I don't think he fits Chelsea at all because he's a 10, and we already.
No. I'm not saying for Chelsea. I'm just saying the idea that maybe right now in this current moment, Clear Lake is focusing more on Strasbourg than they are on Chelsea. And they're kind of hoping that Chelsea, with what they got, Maresca will kind of figure out a way to man the ship in the right direction.
I don't think they're focusing on Strasbourg more on Chelsea. I still think that, as much as like, I'm not liking what they've done the last couple of years for sure. It's not been great. We've been finishing like 6th, 10th, or whatever, right? I can still see they're trying. They're sacking managers. They want to obviously get top 4, I think, but then again, lately it's like it's changing the narrative or whatever, but like they have spent like a lot of money on the squad. We are buying players. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way they got doing it, like it's just failing, and I don't think they concentrate on Strasbourg like that. It's just like using Strasbourg as a, you know, we can send our young players over there and they can learn like Santos or something. I don't think they are like focusing on like Strasbourg like that. No. Sorry, but yeah, I don't know about this player, but like you said, we're not going after him, so I don't know. We're looking at him for some reason. It's throwing me off.
I keep muting myself. Sorry.
Yeah.
The reason I brought it up, Chris, is mostly because I don't know if you've been seeing it on Twitter. Maybe Ahmed. I know Ahmed's seen it. Oliver may have seen it, but there's been a lot of movement for Strasbourg this window. A lot more than Chelsea. You know, I think this window they signed 2 players, I believe. They're linked with this player on loan. Obviously, Caleb came back. It's, you know, they've won, I believe, they've been undefeated in the last 7. They're doing pretty good for themselves. And I feel like that's in part to do with Liam Rossignol, obviously the manager that we appointed there. And also due to the part that I think we've been, you know, kind of like what Ahmed said, just trying to bolster them up to develop our players, so on and so forth. And it could help. I mean, we were seeing the how it's helping them in terms of in the table, and if they get Champions League, that's some money that. Listen, I know there's supposed to be separate transactions, there's supposed to be separate companies, and in terms of like they can't, funnel money from Strasbourg to Chelsea.
That would be funny if they get Champions League and we don't.
But that's what I'm thinking too, to an extent. Like maybe there's like a loophole, because we know there's loopholes. Is there maybe a financial loophole where they can exploit and so on and so forth?
I don't know if there's a loophole.
Marshall,
if there is a loophole,
the thing is, Marshall, they're not doing any loopholes there. The reason why they can do what they're doing at Strasbourg again is because the money they're spending on players is not that much, bro. Right? Santos, they didn't spend money on because he's a Chelsea player. Petrovic is a Chelsea player, right? The other guys they've been spending on maximum 5, 10, 15, bro. They're not spending that much money, bro. Like, this summer alone, they only spent 60 million euros. In the summer, they spent only 60 million euros. Then I think so far this season, the plan spent obviously 50 million plus a little bit more. That's it, bro. They're not spending that much, bro.
And also, remember the money they've received as well. A year ago they sold Selves to Nottingham Forest. This January we bought Mamadou Sarr from them. That will give them a bit of money. So they've been making money on top of things as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask you next, Oliver. What do you think in terms of like how the attention has kind of looked like it's shifting a little bit more on Strasbourg, specifically this window, than it has been Chelsea?
I do kind of hear it, and I think there's two realities with this. First of all, the difference in sort of like duration with the clubs and how long the Blue Co sort of model has owned them. Chelsea have been since 2022, Strasbourg since I think we bought them in the summer of 2023. So there's a year difference there, and you'd like to think hopefully we're a year ahead in terms of that. And so that's one thing. Strasbourg is still catching up to that in a sense. Not that they're going to spend £1 billion, but they're still catching up in terms of that year. Also, and this is more of a Chelsea thing, but it's it's the incompetence of the sporting directors and how they've clearly settled on certain positions as being adequate, even though they're not to the viewer's eye. And it's kind of like resting on your laurels now. Like you actually think Robert Sanchez is a good enough goalkeeper, so you're not going to invest there. You think that position X is fine. You think position Y is fine. You think position Z is fine. So and you've spent £1 billion, so you're kind of patting yourself on your own back. Meanwhile, these guys are just pushing on and on and on. They can see Europe. So I think it's a bit of our sporting directors as well, kind of settling for what they've already done, even though it's not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's something that I'm going to be keeping a closer eye on because, I mean, right now things are going okay for them and things are not looking so hot for us. And it's interesting to see how they're building their team. Like, the team has looked pretty bolstered since I think Chelsea or Blue Co have acquired them. They've been having some solid performances.
They've got 3 players pretty much in all their positions, bro. They've got 3 players in all of the positions that they want. Okay, and listen, let's be realistic about it. At the end of the day, bro, we are like the feeder club for them, bro. You know what I mean? We're giving them players, we're letting them improve. We're getting them to improve, and look, they're basically in a better position than they were last season because of that, right? And the money they were spending.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's something I disagree with. Not disagree with Ahmed. We spent 60 million euros, right? But I think that's a lot of money to spend in the French league.
Oh yeah, it is. I was just talking about the money they've spent in terms of like, I think Marshall thought they spent more. I was putting it into context like the money they spent. Like, if you actually look at it, yes, 60 million, it looks a lot. Obviously for the league it is a lot, but like if you look at the 60 million itself, in terms of like Premier League, in terms of the Premier League, that's like basically one player in the Premier League. That's like a Neto in the Premier League, right? But if you look at how they buy their players, a lot of the players they're buying 5 million, 6, 7. Like the max they bought last season, you can correct me here, CP. I think the max they bought was like 50 million, right? It was 50 million.
But yeah, you're around there.
Somewhere around about that, right? It was somewhere in that region, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make. They're buying a lot of players, but they're buying them because a lot of them are basically essentially prospects at lower values, basically.
It's definitely Go ahead, CP.
No, yeah, I'm just looking through. Yeah, the most is spent is around 50 million actually. Yeah, I think they're spending a lot for that league because, as you know, the French league is in financial turmoil, right? Like Lyon is broke as shit. PSG is going to spend money, and Marseille is spending a bit of money. But I think that's what is also helping this is the money they're spending, and it is giving them more of a platform to, as Ahmed was saying, be a proper feeder club for us, where they are competing in lower levels of Europe, right? But still giving these kids the European experience. As Ahmed was saying, they're in a cheaper price range. They're young, obviously. So, and that's why we bought their center back, is because I don't watch every week of Strasbourg. I watch him once in a while. He's been pretty good so far, and I think he's like 18, 19. He's doing pretty well there. So in terms of physicality, like, you know, he could be able to handle it, and obviously not as a starter, as maybe a fifth choice option or whatever it may be. But yeah, like, I think they're handling Strasbourg well, because last year Strasbourg were shit. The fans were bitching and complaining that we want.
Yeah, the fans are rioting, dude.
Huh? Yeah, they're rioting. They were bitching and complaining, and now they're going to be a European team, or close to a European team at this rate. They haven't lost a game since mid-November, which is about almost 2 months. It's going to be soon. So yeah, they've been on good course. And in terms of Strasbourg, their manager also plays kind of like a three at the back, like we do in attack.
Yeah.
So that's why the idea is that Santos is doing great there, and he can kind of transition to Chelsea seamlessly, and same with the center back we just bought from them, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
The thing is that, you know, some of these players we are buying for Strasbourg, right, and then loan to them so they don't have to pay the money. But then we do need to buy, I think, at least one more club, right? We need to buy one more club in Europe, most likely Portugal, to then fully sustain this model, in my opinion, right? Because we're also buying some of these players because Strasbourg can't afford the transfer fee, but they could afford the wages, right? Like with Petrovic and Santos, right? Like Caleb Wiley, the reason why he's back is because he's injured, and we have a better medical staff, right? So we need to buy one more club for it to be fully sustainable. So, because right now Strasbourg is looking good, they're performing well. Santos is developing as he should, right? Like, and the other thing was, like, I remember, Ahmed listens to Alex Goldberg a bit too, is Leslie didn't want to be loaned to any club in France, like in specific Strasbourg, because the team he came from was higher up in the table. So he saw being loaned at Strasbourg as a downgrade, right? So
remember with Eli Wahi too.
Yeah,
that was an issue we had with Eli Wahi. Yeah.
Right? So us being, or Strasbourg being in these higher level places, hopefully, you know, then we don't have to do some of these shitty loans to a Southampton who's not going to play him. Obviously, recently they're playing him, right? They might be more open to joining Strasbourg. They're like, oh, because, you know, this team is, you know, higher up in the table than my team was when they bought me. That could be
that was a horrific take by Leslie, by the way. His old team are now 16th.
I know, but that's what reports were saying.
Listen, man, I could go on for hours about Rennes and like
you're
they
right,
did,
man.
you know what I mean? I could talk about what their problems are. Their problems are really bad. Like what they did in the summer was terrible, bro. They killed their team in the summer, basically. That's what's caused a lot of their problems right now.
Yeah, and I'm glad CP brought up the multi-club model, right? Because this is something we spoke about in a previous stream about, you know, we're recruiting all these players, and, you know, I never thought about it that way, that we can take on the loan, the actual transfer fee, but the other clubs can take on the wages, which that seems to work. Like, listen, as much as we want to crash it on this whole project and this whole like idea of like what's working and how it is, like there are aspects of it that are working. They do make sense. It's just the execution has been so bad in terms of getting it done. Like, you know, I'm not opposed to bringing in these younger players, these potential players. The problem I have with it is, where do we send them and what do we do with their careers, right? You're looking at Casadei, how that's been working out. Like, it's not been working out, to be honest. We now are kind of in a position where, well, fuck, we need to sell him now because I just don't see a club taking him and developing him. He's getting now older, right? Same thing with Leslie Ugochukwu to an extent where we're going to see what happens with him next season, but he was another one purchased young. We'll see what happens. We have Anselmino, we have Paez and Esteval. Not that Esteval is going to be developing, but it's just examples that maybe if we had another feeder club, then we can see this being a more synergistic or a more harmonious relationship. And let's be honest, like these loans, like the loans to Strasbourg, those loans have been the ones that, to be honest, they look like they're going to be promising for us in the future. Even Petrovic, we sent Petrovic there, and now he's one of the top goalkeepers in the league. His ball playing got better, which I still question why it couldn't have just been improved here at Chelsea if we have a coach, right? But it's stuff like that we can send players that are promising players there to develop and find themselves and really become and grow into those players that we hope they become into. But we just, because of the rules, we can't do it all in one club. We need another club. And obviously, I say that, right? Buying another club is probably a lot more difficult than it sounds. But it's like you're buying the bullets before you get the gun. It's like, my dude, get what you need first, and then they're doing it backwards. And that's what's baffling me. But, I mean, I think it was a really good point to bring that up with the whole Strasbourg thing and the multi-club model, because I feel like most of us on this panel, if the multi-club model was set up the way it's supposed to, maybe we would have a little bit less complaints about all the recruitment that's going on. Okay, it could, but you could just ask me to do it. It could potentially be that too.
Mine's
right?
better.
I don't know about that.
It's like a sharp knife to freaking silverware, man. I don't
First
know.
when I catch you, man.
It won't be hard.
Wait,
That's true, man. That's true.
That is true. That is very true, man. That is very true.
I got an ACL injury, Marshall. Like,
See,
my mind was
see, you see
somewhere
that,
else.
guys? He's in the gutter, man. He's in the gutter, man. This one. He's in the gutter. This one.
Ahmed, bro, if you can't catch him, man, leave the football before the football leaves you. You know what I mean?
Listen, leave the running before
the catching leaves you, bro.
Yeah,
leave the running before the running leaves you, man. That's what you gotta say, man. That one.
Oh my days, bro. All right, let's go to the next topic, which is we have let's discuss some injuries. So 2 big injuries we have a bit of updates on, and that's gonna be on Fofana and Lavia. We'll start off with Fofana. So according to Bobby Vincent, as of a few days ago, Wesley Fofana has returned to the pitch at Cobham with the defender doing some light running work on the grass.
no,
We already know. If you know, you know. Then Kieran Gill saying here, Maresca hopes Lavia will be back for the last 10 PL games. Meaning we're what, 21 games in?
7 games away. 7 games away.
7 games away. Jesus fuck.
6 or 7 games.
wow.
Okay, we return here as well. Maresca says he hopes Lavia will be back by mid-March. I think that's a pipe dream. For how long is he going to be back for? Also, same thing with Fofana, but go ahead, Ahmed.
No, there's nothing to say. Obviously, hope he gets well soon. That's really it. And where's Leslie? Where's Santos back? But I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in trouble.
You could also ask me to play that too.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
There you go. Listen, these players are obviously they're good players. That I mean, one of them is up for debate, I'm sure, but
Who's up for debate?
one of them, I think I said good players, but I think people still question if Fofana is a good player.
Nah, he's a good player. It's just
Tell Fofana, man, it's time to go, bro. I don't care, bro. Tell him to leave. Man.
I thought you were gonna say tell Fofana put the fries in the back.
No need to say that, man. Just tell him to leave my club.
we was doing pretty good when Fofana was fit.
I don't care, bro.
I think it started to slip away
Just
when
tell
he
him
got
to
injured.
leave. Just tell him, man, I don't need you anymore, man. I don't need your services, man. Get out.
All right, Cher. I don't need you anymore. But yeah, that's a bit of an injury update. We're not going to see these players that are pivotal players back until later in the season, if at all, with Fofana's case. It sucks. I'm hoping, like I said, there's still a week left to the transfer window. There's a week left where you can fix your mistakes here or, patch up some of the holes that are in the club. Time will tell if that's what happens. A lot can happen in the final days of the transfer window. We move on to the next topic. Renato Veiga came out and, well, no, he didn't really come out and say anything, but apparently he's got a long-term plan, and it involves Chelsea. Now, I do remember people kind of crashing out on the player, obviously, for what was going on with the transfer. I, like a few others on the panel, kind of didn't care much. I mean, to me, it's no different than Maatsen. Wasn't getting playtime under the manager before. Maresca wanted a loan, got a loan at Dortmund. Yeah, he definitely did have more playtime than Maatsen. So Renato Veiga still believes Chelsea is where his long-term future ultimately lies, according to Simon Johnson and Liam Toomey. Chelsea's initial position was that only a sale would be sanctioned in January for Renato Veiga, but he made it clear he did not want to leave the club permanently or as part of any loan agreement that included an option to buy. Chelsea have no plans to sign an alternative left-back in January despite Veiga's departure, which I think that's really ballsy. It's, in my opinion, it probably comes from a discussion with Maresca saying, hey, listen, can you get by with just Malo Gusto? And Maresca probably saying, yes, I can, because we've seen Malo Gusto play in that position over Veiga when Cucurella is not available, which I don't like about what Maresca's. That's one thing against Maresca that I'm not a fan of. But in terms of Renato Veiga, I mean, I believe him. I believe him in terms of, I think, for the clout, he does want Chelsea to be the long-term plan. But I think right now, because the World Cup is coming so soon, he wants to solidify that position in the Portuguese team. I can't really... You guys might disagree with me on this. We'll see. But I don't really put too much of blame on the sporting directors for this move. I think they made the right move in acquiring the player, but the player, due to outside influences, changed his mind. And now, obviously, I put a little bit more onus on Maresca. Maresca probably should have played him more, even if he wanted to play center back. Just play him in the wide position, play him in the midfield, give him the minutes that you're giving Malo Gusto, who isn't a player that plays in that position. And maybe we're talking or having a different discussion on a Renato Veiga. But I think long-term wise, he could be a good player. I think he can fit at Chelsea. I think he does need to get this idea that he's going to be a center back. I think stay with the versatility. I think it's helpful for any player to be a versatile player. We've long are the days now where players can play any position and put in a shift now. Everyone has to play in their position, and everyone's making excuses for, oh, he's not playing in his position. I don't want to hear it anymore.
You always do that excuse for Disasi.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time.
Well,
he doesn't play there.
Oh,
I
he
do.
got you there, man. He got you there, mate.
I do make that excuse for Disasi, but Disasi isn't good enough for Chelsea.
Let them know, Chris, man.
I said that. And if you know a player is not good in the right back position, stop playing him at right back. You know, even Loftus-Cheek was really cheeks at right wing back the first game, the second game. But he slowly began to improve, and he slowly started to put in a shift.
Put some respect on his name, mate.
That hasn't happened with Disasi. There gets to a point where you're like, all right, just stop doing it. All right, you experimented, it doesn't work, stop it. But that's neither here nor there. I just don't. Think Disasi
I find it interesting that he speaks about Disasi that way, but not about Veiga. But
what do you mean?
Hashtag analyzing. That's what I'm gonna say, man.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't understand.
All right.
What are you analyzing? What am I saying that's wrong against Veiga? That's unfair.
I don't want to speak too much. If I start speaking, definitely I'm in trouble now.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
What do we think about this whole Veiga
I don't
stuff?
see there's any future. With
Really?
Veiga. I centre back no. Because we're already trying to buy more centre backs, right?
Yeah.
I think Colwell's gonna be like probably a star in general for Chelsea. Unless
You think Colwell deserves it?
Yeah. I think he's our best centre back for sure. He's better than Veiga for me. Actually, I can't really say that because Veiga's not really played centre back, but I think he will be. He's better than Chalobah. I think he's better than Fofana. Dastan, Badiashile. So I think he should be Sarr still.
Chris back in a cover player.
No, just
Like Mark, if the reports are true, I know you'll touch on this topic later, like the Huijsen links. Then hey,
Oh
Veiga's
yeah, it's at the end.
Veiga's gonna fund that. Veiga's nice 30 million is gonna fund the release cost for Huijsen. I'll take it. Let's go.
Yeah.
By
basically.
the way, that deal for Veiga is not a bad deal. By the way, the loan, it's a 5 million fee.
Yeah, it's
We acquired the player for 12.
Yeah, that's insane. By the way,
How much we paid for Veiga?
Loans. The
Here
loan
we
was
go,
never the
man.
problem.
Here we go, man. We're talking about profit again. Wow.
I mean,
Profit talk.
listen,
Oh, wait, man. Profit talk.
man, the
we're gonna get Huijsen, okay? That's what I'm saying. The Veiga's money can give me Huijsen, man. Release clause.
All right, man. All right,
listen,
man.
the loan itself was never the problem when it comes to Renato Veiga. Like you can do this, it's fine. Replace him though. What are we doing? We're not replacing our backup left back. We're relying on Gusto, who's not been good this season, at right back or left back, inverting or overlapping,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Can Achimpong play at left back? Not that I would want him to.
Let's not talk about Achimpong because ever since Bournemouth, he's been in the shadow realm. He's not touched the pitch since Bournemouth.
Yeah, I always forgot about him.
He didn't play his game. Remember on Wednesday, he didn't play his game.
I actually forgot about Achimpong for a second.
You know the left back we have from our youth team, like the under 21s, that's like highly rated. I'm
Oh,
forgetting
Samuel
his name.
Smith.
Yes, he didn't play his youth team game like during the weekday, so I think they might be. And then there was training video, remember, of him with Maresca on Friday or Thursday. So I think they might be ramping him up to be the backup.
And what tells you he'll be any more than Renato Veiga, just a bench player that doesn't come on? You know.
Yeah, but that's fine. But this guy's going to be more fine with being a bench player than Renato Veiga, who wants to be a starting center back because he's getting.
Okay, fine, but I don't want Malo Gusto a left back.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what we're going to get. Hopefully, well, based on the videos and him not playing, I'm assuming this youth guy is going to pop up.
Oh.
I'm just
Oh,
worried
wait,
about
man.
Kukurea, man. I'll be honest.
Can't wait.
I am.
Another
Yeah, I'm
kiddie.
worried about
Another
Kukurea,
kiddie
too.
playing for our club. Woo! You know what I mean? Let's go, lads. Accounting nation.
Fucking
Little kids
little
nation.
bastard.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Josh Hutchinson is fine with Bayern. He's good. If this kid is good like Josh on the left, why am I complaining?
All right, man. I
Bro,
can't
are
wait.
you good, bro?
See a straw?
Don't look good to you, Marshall.
And weren't you invested in a 20-year-old right back who you were saying Rota?
He's actually 23, man. So you know
No,
what I mean.
I'm
At least I'm classy like that, man.
No, I'm
You know what I
referring to this, bro. You were
Oh my
saying the
god,
good
that was
news
crazy.
from Pascal
Oh
was
my
good news
god.
from India.
CFS said something crazy. Chill. Oh, that was bad. You know what?
That's all right.
You know what I mean. I
The
reloaded
directors
something.
are getting to your head. The directors are getting to your head, Ahmed.
Moscow, man. That's it.
Hey, tell me about it, Ahmed. You were Gusto Nation to Madrid, remember? In the summer, we were like, hey...
Listen, Gusto Nation to Madrid.
Oh my god.
If that happens, by the way, that could be a reality. You know, I was deep in that today. Marshall, man. This
Well, he'll be back up to Trent.
Listen, I don't want to speak too much. You know what I mean? What the word on the streets is it's not looking good, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
you know
cool.
what
Celebrate your backup.
I mean? Listen,
Yeah, I'm fine with selling.
listen. The streets are not. It's not looking good for the streets, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Veiga.
This is how
Don't
little
give
anyone
him
cares
Veiga.
about this guy. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
Shout out to
No,
Spike.
but
Listen, I'm happy for him. He's got his long-term plan. Like at the
Sure.
end of the day, like
No
good for
one
him.
cares,
But
yeah.
is whether or not Badiashile is because this is the thing. You're not only factoring Colwell.
Yeah,
He's
what
got
the
to get
fuck
over
happened
even
to Badiashile?
Badiashile as a backup.
Yeah,
He's
what
been
the
out. He's out, bro.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be back soon, is what Maresca said.
He should be back soon, I think. Right, February.
That's what they always say, man. And then is he back?
And listen, I'm beyond the point of rating. I'm beyond the point of rating Badiashile anymore. But like,
yeah, no, he's been so on and off this season.
this club is clearly like
Baddie
some sort
Shield,
of
man. That's what I
Nexus
like to
in
call
FC.
him.
You could say maybe.
Baddie
So.
Shield, as I like to call him, bro.
He got the season, but interesting. Oh man, yeah. With Renato Veiga, we'll see what happens with his future. If he gets sold, I'm surprised that he managed to convince the directors to just do a loan. And that's our only international loan, I think, because we called back Caleb Wiley and that unlocked.
There's 2 other
this
international
loan.
loans that are happening right now. We've got more than 2 international loans. We've got 2 right now at Strasbourg right now. Obviously, Veiga is the 3rd one. There's another international. Fofana is another international loan. I think there's another one that I'm missing, but you guys can probably help me if you think.
Can't think of any.
Penders, technically.
Penders
Oh
is
yeah,
also,
Penders, yeah, to gank. Yeah,
Yep.
and I guess Anselmino was one, and then we recalled him, so
No, he's
he
back
fills up
now,
the
though.
slot.
He's back.
Oh,
No,
does,
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
we have a limit, right? So like we're kind of finagling and playing around with these loans and what we can get
Yes.
done.
What do
And
you mean by that?
that's the I don't know. That's the other elusive part is that we can't just loan out everyone, and so many of these links are like for loans and all that, but it is what it is. Let's actually move on to another one. This one's going to be a permanent move, and we haven't had an update on this yet. I don't think it's a here we go. It might be a deadline date here we go, to be honest. But let's talk about Casadei. So Casadei been linked with multiple Italian clubs. We have a bit of an update on the situation. So let's go into it. So we have here from a few days ago, Lazio are set to submit a new formal bid for Cesar Casadei, a permanent transfer, plus a sell-on clause. Torino, Feyenoord, and one more Premier League club remain in the race, but Chelsea want their terms met. Lazio now closer to Cesare Casadei. There is a 1.6 million gap in the valuation, and the 2 clubs are now trying to bridge it. Torino is considering another bid. Lazio official bid for Cesare Casadei is 10.9 million pounds plus a sell-on clause included. Chelsea decisions will be made this week. I mean, the week has passed and doesn't seem like a decision's been made. So tomorrow, deal done for Casadei to Torino, according to the Marzio. Cesar Casadei will now be a new Torino player, and it will be finalized tomorrow. Fee around 8.4 to 10.1 million plus bonuses, according to the Marzio. Again, I haven't heard of this. I haven't seen a here we go for it yet. Time will tell if this was actually done a few days back. Rudy Galetti here is saying that Chelsea confirmed the request of Casadei, 25 million euros on a high resale percentage with a lower figure. Torino offered just over 10 million euros and a high resale percentage, but it's not enough. Feyenoord withdrew from the race considering the price too high. Lazio can't increase the bid to date. And then we have also here more details on that. Chelsea have received 2 bids from Cesare Casadei. Lazio gave him 12 million euros plus a 10% on the future sale, while Torino offered 9 million euros plus 2 million as bonuses and 40% on the capital gain on the future sale. So that's a big chunk. Is this the same thing on the future sale and capital gain? So maybe after taxes is what they mean by that? So we'll tell with that. Update: Lazio have improved their offer to Chelsea for Cesar Casadei, offering 12 million and 20% cut off of the sell-on fee as per Fabrizio Romano, plus 25% cut off of the sell-on fee as per Alfredo Pedulla. So we have 2 sell-on fees that are being rumored. It's either 20 or 25%. Lazio are confident that it will be accepted, and I think that's a pretty hefty sell-on fee if it were to happen. Lazio remain confident to get Cesar Casadei deal done for 10.1 million pounds plus a 20% sell-on clause. Negotiations in final stages with Chelsea, according to Fabrizio Romano 3 days ago. And then lastly here, Lazio remain confident to get Cesare Casadei deal done after bids sent 2 days ago. 12 million euros plus 20% sell-on. Negotiations at final stages with Chelsea, with Lazio director Fabiani on it, and get it done and sealed. Fabiani's relationship with Chelsea could prove key to proceed and get it signed. So looking like 12 million euros and a 20% sell-on clause for Cesare Casadei to Lazio. Not a bad deal. I don't remember how much we purchased the player for, to be quite frank.
14 million euros.
So we're essentially down the line in the future making profit off of the player. So what do we think about this whole situation, ladies and gents?
Can I ask a question? When did this channel become an accounting channel?
And because we're an accounting club.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hey, it's tax season, man.
What happened to the couple of man? I'm here talking about how much money we're making.
Man,
Tired,
that's-
bro. I'm tired
that's
of
We,
watching
we,
unfortunate.
we
Yeah, how
could be
much-
signing
wait, how
Teller.
much
We
profit
could be
do we
signing
make?
Teller Garnacho. So either I'm gonna be happy, kind of, or I'm gonna be fucking livid in the next week. So we'll find out, man.
Yeah.
Wait, you're gonna be livid?
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, if I get Garnacho, yes, I'm gonna be fucking livid.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of Chelsea.
We'll get
fans
there,
do.
man. We'll get to that conversation. But like, I'm just, listen. Obviously, I don't know. We're breaking even then. Is that way it is right now? I don't know. It's
No, we'll be under by 2 million euros, and then, but based on the 20% sell-on, we'll probably exceed
Yeah.
breaking even. We'll make more
Yeah.
profit.
And I'm sure, like, again, I've said this on here. I've spoken with Curry about it. I've spoken with the rest of the panel on this as well. I think there's a good player in Casadei. He just needs to be one, maybe playing. Well, actually, to be honest, he's a cam. He's been playing as CDM or a 6 in Maresca's system in Conference League. He's not done a terrible job. He's just not naturally a cam. I mean, if he gets just more playing time in general in the center midfield position, I could see the potential for a player being there that does well in Serie A. He wasn't doing bad in Serie A prior. He was in the Inter Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see us making money off of it.
Okay.
There you go.
I just want to say this is great business. I know Marshall rates him differently than me. He's
Yeah.
mid as fuck, and I can't wait for in 3 years down the line when he gets sold for 30 million pounds at most, and we still make good profit. And I'm like, yeah, he's just a fucking 6'4" Pellegrini from Roma. So if you know, you know who Pellegrini is. If you know, you know,
man.
and that's what he is. So Pellegrini is
saying, man.
6'1",
Just
this guy's
saying.
6'4", 3 inches more, doing the same fucking job. You know what I'm saying? So big up to us, man. We got rid of.
Bro, Marshall thought I was a
Pellegrini.
Casadei hater. My God.
That's what I'm saying,
I know,
bro.
he is.
Bloody hell, man. You say if you're a chest, big man.
No, the worst
thought-
Casadei hater is Will, but he's not with us.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
I
He's
just
not
got one
dead,
thing
he's
to
just
say
not
about
here.
this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
he's
just
not
got-
with us no more. I was thinking, when
I
was
just got one thing to say about Casadei, by the way. With these, when it comes to these like players, because I've accepted the reality, whether I like it or not, that we're going to be buying these players to flip. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. Can we not buy them from the Serie A ever again? Because the cycle when it comes to Serie A players is you buy them from there, and then their only interest is from Serie A clubs who always want to underpay. Can we not do
Yeah.
this again?
It's
Literally happens with every single player, and not only are the only interests from Serie A clubs, the players. It seems like whenever a player goes to Serie A, they just want to be there forever. Lukaku, Jorginho had so many links to Serie A when he was at Chelsea,
I mean,
always to go back there. It's just a thing, man. I don't want to do this with Serie A players because we're gonna do what we did now, where we spend a month trying to get a minimal profit.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I just don't want to be spending all this time on one player
I
like this. It's
agree with
stupid.
Oliver's xenophobia. No more Italians. I agree with
Oh
it.
my god.
No more Serie A players. That's the difference.
Huh? Just playing.
Yeah,
I'm just-
Racist
Serie A
mono?
players. No. I mean, I don't know what you call leagues.
Hashtag no to Romans. Hashtag no to Romans.
Just racism against Serie A players. I mean, it's something completely
I
different.
mean, I know
right?
you
Like,
will understand, Marshall, man. You know what I mean? We all
course.
know about your history, man.
Yeah, as United Spurs of America likes to call this channel, casually racist. We'll never escape the Chelsea allegations.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, it's just attached
Proper
to
Chelsea
everything.
Marshall.
Proper Chelsea Marshall, whatever.
There we go, man.
but-
Proper Chelsea.
But we were just talking earlier about the whole Strasbourg thing. I genuinely feel like this is Casadei, Carney, maybe not so much Carney, but Casadei, and any future signings we make that are like, oh, these players have potential and stuff. I feel like we're only going to set them up for failure if we don't give them proper loans. Like the Casadei situation was a weird one. All right, first season he goes out low to Reading, right? Then the season after with Poch, he gets a loan where he gets a little bit of play time, bench for a bit under Maresca, then finally starts getting more regular minutes, and then we recall him for what? To sit on the bench and make 2 appearances under Poch. It's just ridiculous. And then this season, once again, like instead of loaning him out, having him be developed, because like at the end of the day, me so much, I don't really mind flipping players for profit. I've accepted that that's something we're going to do at the club. There's something, a model that we're going to pursue and persist with. But to me, it's like, and Curry, you probably agree with me. It's what is the point of buying this player, going through all these negotiations, FFP, PSR, only to make $6 million or 6 million pounds off of him? Like, I feel like if you actually go through the ranks of have the multi-club, send him out to, let's say, for example, I'm not saying it's going to happen, so don't get triggered, Chelsea fans. Santos. We purchased Santos for what, 30 mil? Like, does anyone remember the price on Santos? 20 million. Right now, if we were to sell Santos, I believe we have a 60 million pound player there because of how well he's developed and how much he's played at Strasbourg and how much of an impact he's found his game and how much he's developed. You know, you look at Cole Palmer, for example. We bought him for 40. Right now, he's easily over 100 mil because he got to play. He got to develop. He's becoming now the player that you could flip for profit. We haven't done that with Casadei. Casadei got recalled and benched. Casadei stayed with the team this season. He's been benched for most of it and has been playing some Conference League matches here and there.
You know what, Casadei is one of the craziest anomalies at Chelsea because so often have we complained about how bad the loans have been. Casadei's had very good loans. Like across his 2 loans, Reading, he was like their best player and getting good experience. Like the Reading fans were very happy with him. Mm-hmm. And then Leicester fans were mixed on him, but he was getting the minutes. It all went wrong as soon as we stopped loaning him. Right, so
but then and now because we stopped loaning him, we're getting 6 million versus what I potentially could have seen like a 20 million profit at least. Like it just doesn't make sense profit wise.
Imagine if we could have been selling him off the back of promotion like last season last summer. That would have been
actually that's a really good point because if he had just stayed with Leicester, he would have been promoted with Leicester. Maybe would have gotten a few more minutes. And we're talking about maybe selling him on for 35, right?
Yeah.
Because he has that. He's a championship, winner. It's just weird. It's weird how we're
the championship has a better record than people give it credit for in terms of good players coming from there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, to me, the whole Casadei thing is weird. Whether he had stayed or not, that's whatever. Like, I do like the player. I did have high hopes for him. It didn't work out. It is what it is. But even for the plan that you want to flip for profit, the way you're going about it, to me, is very questionable. It's very questionable. I don't think you're making the most of the situation. Like, even David Washington right now. Guy's not been. There's no way we're flipping a profit for that player. That guy, David Washington. We've not sent him out.
I'm kidding, man.
He's
just. I know. Doesn't exist anymore.
It's like we've not sent him out on loan. We've not developed the player. Like, what do we expect to do with him? He's just gonna be a member of staff. That's it. Like, just another body. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But
I thought you got a club model, Marshall. So what's the issue?
What?
You're the one that says you understand the club's model. So why do you not understand this?
No, but he's complaining why we should expand it. He's complaining that we should expand it so then we can loan to our teams and not have these type of loans and then have minuscule profit.
Again, Marshall's been the guy that's been telling us he understands the model. I'm frozen on my side, but it's okay. He's still able to speak. So, but no, Marshall's been telling us he understands the model. He understands how the world works. So, I'm surprised.
What do you think? I'm Blue Co Whisperer over here?
Yeah,
I don't get it, bro.
I thought you were Blue Co's #1 fan. What's going on?
I'm not. You need to stop spreading propaganda, bro.
The propaganda, man. I'm just asking
for the camera, bro. Don't let me get on the camera and tell the truth.
Don't let me get on the camera and tell the truth, Ahmed.
I mean, technically, you are on the camera, though. So what are you saying?
Are you there?
All right, you want? let's talk about Rennes, bro. Let's talk about your club, the club you rate. Don't let me start talking the truth, Ahmed.
First things first,
Right?
yeah. If you want to talk about rents,
I'm in scouting
Listen,
in the mud right now.
Listen, my scouting is elite. Every player that I've mentioned right now is doing well at that
Should
club.
have picked a better. Should have picked.
You know what I mean? So next time,
Doing so
get it
well.
right,
They're
mate.
relegation.
Get it right next time.
They're doing so
Get it
well.
right.
They're relegation.
Listen, yes, because their academy is good, but that's because their first team is trash. That's not negating the fact that they're. It's like Ajax. Ajax is a great academy, but the first team is currently trash.
Marshall, you're finding glass houses because Matisse Tell is from, I think, the Rennes Academy.
So, hey.
So we're really finding shots at glass right now.
You know what I mean? So listen, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name, please.
I take everything back on Matisse, though.
So,
good enough. It's as simple as that.
Nope.
ooh, I just packed Turam. Lovely jubbly. Lovely.
Okay.
Wow.
Wait,
All right,
let's the right back.
The icon one, yeah, centre back too.
Yeah, I got Eto, man.
Oh, nice.
That idiot
88
picked
pace,
me.
90
Yeah,
defending.
yeah.
Listen, Pedro Porres
Marshall,
can be
you
my
gotta
right
do
back.
that. Idiot player pick.
Pedro
icon.
Porres my right back, and
I
Turam can
packed
be my centre back.
Ronaldinho. I don't care.
Fuck you, Chris.
You know, Chris, can we ban Chris from this stream, please?
I got you.
On a personal note, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Chris, you can hold that, man. How dare you? How dare you? Rub that in our faces. But anyways, let's continue on, because since we're in Italy, let's discuss another player that we've been linked to, which is a Douglas Luiz. So let's catch up with this, because I don't know where we left off with this, to be honest with you. I haven't been keeping up. Look at that. He's yelling at Ren. Chelsea Dodgers here saying, Matt Law reporting here, Chelsea did ask on conditions of loaning a Douglas Luiz to the end of the season, but do not want to pay a big fee or commit to a obligation which Juventus are demanding. A Douglas Luiz that currently in Juve, as of what I've been hearing, has been out of favor, not playing nearly enough like he was here at Aston Villa. So Chelsea asked about a loan move for Douglas Luiz. Juventus has no intention to open doors to a loan move at this stage. Negotiations are not advancing. This was as of 4 days ago, when we were still working out the kinks to the Veiga deal. Chelsea had made an offer to take Douglas Luiz on loan for the rest of the season. Juve have made their midfield available just 6 months after his £42 million arrival. Wow, they paid a decent amount for Douglas Luiz, huh? Chelsea are the latest club to ask about a loan for Douglas Luiz. Juventus want a substantial fee. A move is apparently considered unlikely at this stage, with the Blues unwilling to tie themselves to a fee or commit to an obligation to buy. And last year, after Man City, Chelsea have also asked Juventus about potential loan for Douglas Luiz until June. Juve have no intentions to open the doors for a loan move. At this stage, negotiations are not advancing. So I guess it was kind of a pipe dream, but I wouldn't have minded a Douglas Luiz on loan.
This is why Juventus are idiots. They paid 42 million for a player the manager doesn't want to play at all, hasn't played in months, and still don't want to loan him. And also the funny thing is, Marshall, they want a center back, right? Like Veiga. And the Huijsen guy we're linked with is from their youth academy that they just sold to Bournemouth in summer. They're worse clown show than we are if these idiots don't want to even loan him.
I'm confused though, because weren't they actually didn't Juve just change their model so that they rely a little bit more on their youth and their academy players?
Yeah,
or am I wrong in thinking that?
They fucking sold half their youth fucking setup.
Oh shit! Wasn't
last
half of their youth actually getting them results?
Last season, they sold I think 2 of their best youth products essentially.
Yeah,
and Huijsen, and then there's another guy they sold to Roma as well. That was amazing quality. Because his name just escapes me right now, but he is good. The guy they sold, bro, to Roma, bro. Obviously, this season they've been trash. Yeah, but they're definitely twats to say the least.
The management's stupid if they don't even want to loan Douglas Luiz when Douglas Luiz isn't getting any game time and Mota doesn't want to play him. Then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's at that point, just at least get the wages.
I'm not even saying to us, even Man City are getting rejected. This is stupidity from them.
But you know what? I feel like I've said this before. Italian clubs, bro, they're very greedy, bro. They're very greedy because they don't get money. They feel like they can finesse the other teams, particularly the Premier League teams. I've noticed this before. And I'll be honest, man, the market in Italy is actually kind of beginning to dry up for them because, like, it seems like less and less now that English teams are coming in for their players. By the way, I'll be honest. I think the last few seasons.
It's Oliver was alluding to it before. It seems like they always want to sell on a high, right? Like we saw the prices they were asking for example. And I mean, like, this is most Italian teams. They're asking for high prices for Lukaku, for Inter when he came from Inter. They're asking for high prices for an Osimhen, Kvara, so on and so forth. And then when we go to sell to them, they always want a deal. And they want, this is too expensive. How can you sell? It's very weird negotiating with Serie A clubs. Very, very strange.
Because they're broke, man. They used to be really rich clubs. They all got themselves into debt. The league itself, unironically, is not in a good place. Like half the teams they're just as bad as the French league. It's just that the top teams are, just being brought by hedge funds. I'll be honest. But that league is, have you heard the term managed decline? That's what they're going through right now, bro.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't expect Marshall to know. It's Casually FC, so.
Exactly. I'm also multitasking, so bear with me.
Not focusing the stream, playing FIFA, naughty.
I wish I was playing FIFA like you, man. It'd be more fun.
I'm not playing FIFA. You told you I was playing
You
FIFA?
literally said you packed two around, like...
Yeah, I was just saying it because I saw the chat. I just saw the chat, so I was just, letting the chat know what was going on.
Everyone's playing 4 hours, yeah.
Chris, man, chill out with the ACL, please. Thank you.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Don't make me come to Shrewsbury, man. Don't make me come to Shrewsbury.
I'll drop kick you.
Whoa.
Chris, drop kicking me with ACL. We'll be there no matter what.
That would be interesting. Take a video. All right, so we have more topics obviously before we get into like maybe the more fun topics today, because again, transfer window's been so freaking dead and it's so hard to cover it.
Yeah, don't worry, man, it's so dead. But when Garnacho, here we go, comes in, I'll be there no matter what,
I can't believe you still believe that, but okay.
Do you know what? Listen, when we get to Garnacho topic, I'm gonna tell you how he's gonna come to the club. This is what I'm gonna tell you. I know I can give you the step-by-step plan. And I know Thingy's CP. Yeah, when CP hears this, he knows it's logically sound what I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna just say it based on logic why he's gonna come to the club. By the way, he's not even gonna be.
He's gonna say Nkunku.
But no. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah, and you're kind of right. If Tel does not agree to come to this club, he's coming to our club, bro. He's our plan B basically. So you better hope plan A works.
Yep.
So
let's
talk about midfield options, because we have been linked to some midfielders, and some that maybe aren't even for Chelsea. They might even be for Strasbourg. So let's go ahead and start this off with Sky Sports Leal here reporting here that apparently Southampton will not entertain offers of any less than £55 million for Tyler Dibling. Chelsea and other clubs are monitoring him. So Tyler Dibling, a player that we're apparently linked to, something to keep your eye on. I think right now, currently, he's injured. How old is Tyler Dibling? Does he fall into the model?
He's 18. Fuck off.
Tyler Dibling was a part of our academy, but then we sent him back to Southampton because he was very homesick.
55 million for an 18-year-old Southampton.
You remember Marshall?
Tyler Dibling is
I did hear about this guy. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's had a decent season at Southampton. I mean, Southampton can't, there are not many highlights to come out of
55 million for this 18-year-old. You taking it?
Ahmed, have you seen the tweet saying Hato was...
I prefer really not to speak. If I
off.
speak, I am in big trouble.
Minerals, bruv.
She's got the minerals, Chris.
Let's just use a bit of logic here, right? We currently have Pedro Neto and Noni Madueke, and next season we have Esteval coming in. So where does he play?
There you go.
And also, I just want to also mention right now, yeah, I know a lot of people are crashing it on one of the wingers, Madueke. Madueke right now has already got you 10 GNA, bro. He's got 7 goals, I think, and 3 assists in the league.
People like to crash it on Nani. So,
I'll lie to you, bro. It's kind of crazy, bro, for a guy that's we've been cooking that long.
Man.
Bro, it's
he
actually
didn't have
insane.
a good game yesterday, to be honest. But,
Listen, he trashed, but you know what, man? He be doing what Bruno be doing, bro. He be scoring a goal.
This is Mo Salah right here,
Yeah. Genuinely, like
Not of the level, but of the quality.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yeah.
Chelsea, according to DiMarzio, Chelsea are studying a move for Hellas Verona midfielder Rede Belayen. I think I said that right. Rida
Marshall, when it comes to
Belayen.
saying international names, Arabic names.
Rida Belayen. After Casadei's future gets sorted, so potentially a replacement for Casadei. I don't know if this guy plays as center defensive mid, but
He's not coming,
Chelsea,
by the way.
Chelsea are pushing to sign Verona midfielder Rida Belayen to replace Cesar Casadei. Chelsea are not working on Rida Belayen deal at this stage of the window, despite reports Verona midfielder not close or in talks to join Chelsea, as the club has different targets. We wonder what those targets are. All of us are very curious. Chelsea wants Mathis Amogu and could loan him to Strasbourg. Is another player we're linked with. Blueco are rushing to sign Mathis Amogu and are willing to offer 15 million euro. Blueco Group are keen on signing Mathis Amogu, 18-year-old midfield from Saint Etienne. Chelsea and Strasbourg are monitoring him closely as contacts took place as called by Fabrice Hawkins and RMC. So we got Tyler Dibbling, Reda Benayoun, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name, and then Matisse Omogu. Youngsters.
All right, so
Youngsters.
the last one that you're just gonna mention right now, this one right now, I think what was his name again? Oh, Matisse. So Matisse, whenever you hear the word Blueco, that means it's a Strasbourg signing, by the way, not a Chelsea signing. So that means he's literally going to Strasbourg are trying to basically buy him, and Chelsea just trying to help them out there. But so he's a Chelsea signing. The other guy, obviously, I haven't watched that many games of that team that's been mentioned for Serie A, and obviously that's been
Hellas Verona.
Yeah, and again, Tyler Dibbling, could I see Chelsea do it? Considering how greedy of a club we are when it comes to signing youngsters and then not doing anything with them, I could see it.
It's a weird one.
I could see it, bro. Unironically, I could see Chelsea do that, bro. I know people might not let me say that, but I could genuinely see a club just being random idiots and just thinking, "Let's do it, man."
Yeah. I don't know. Any other opinions on this, guys? Because to me, it's like, what can I say? I don't know anything about these players. Hopefully, if they do come to Chelsea, I agree with Ahmed. I don't think this one's coming to Chelsea. Tyler Dibbling, I think, is a pipe dream as well, considering the price. And this player right here, it already looks like it's not going to happen.
Another youngster.
But midfielder, is he a center defensive mid or is he, what is he? Let me look this up right now.
Chelsea's making me into a MILF hunter, man.
Huh? What?
Huh?
Oh, I don't know what to
Did
say.
you hear what I said, Marshall?
A MILF hunter, yes.
There we are, man. I'm a MILF hunter now because of Chelsea, man. There we are, man.
Midfielder, obviously we know that. Does he play CDM?
Could say worse things than that.
It says his main position is defensive midfielder, so it would make sense to... Well, it would make sense to buy an actual defensive midfielder or bring back Leslie Ugochukwu. But if Casadei goes in one direction, this guy comes back, he at least fits more of the mold of the center defensive mid than Casadei does.
I mean, if you believe what Alex Goldberg is saying, he's saying apparently the reason why we're not bringing back Santos and Ugochukwu is because they're going to get less game time and apparently that's going to reduce their price. So that's
I believe that.
And if that's the case, then hey, game's the game, innit, as they say.
That's what you say, but it makes sense in the sense that like you're going from being a starter to, yeah, you'll play at Chelsea a few games, but as soon as Lavia comes back, or as long as Enzo Fernandez remains fit, you're just going to be a substitute.
So
You're playing. I'm sorry, if Ugochukwu comes back, he's playing every Conference League game.
Yeah, but that's not until March.
He's getting the minutes. There's no
But Marshall, let's be realistic. Can I ask you a question, Marshall? Yeah, What is more valuable right now, playing the relegation side, Southampton, or playing as a consistent substitute? Because that's what will probably be for us, a consistent substitute or slash starter at Chelsea, as well as playing European minutes in the Conference League. What is worth more?
I don't think he's going to be a starter. That's the thing.
Again, you didn't hear what I said. He's going to be a consistent
Conference
substitute.
League.
He's going to be a consistent substitute for us, right? Consistently, because that's probably what's going to happen. Because, like, if he's there, then Maresca's probably going to be more comfortable, I would argue, using these guys as, like, subs, right? Compared to maybe a Casadei and stuff, because that's their position and they've got the know-how and experience to do so, right? So they're going to be consistent subs. They're going to be starting whenever guys are injured or really tired as well, right? So
maybe
plus Conference League games and FA Cup games, right? Considering if we continue to go far, right? So I would argue that's more valuable than playing for a relegation side in I'm talking about Ugochukwu here, right? I think Santos is a bit different because of what's going on right now.
That's not that many games though when you think about it.
That's a lot of games, bro.
For Leslie Ugochukwu, if you were to bring him back and he were to play, let's just say the cup games, right? The FA Cup, there's potentially, I want to say at least 3 games in there, right? Am I wrong in saying that, guys?
What?
The FA Cup. There's at least
FA
3
Cup,
games.
right now we've got round 4, round 5. I think then it's quarters, semis, then finals, right? And after that, you obviously got the Conference League. Conference League is going to be, is it straight quarters because of the fact we don't need to do the...
I think there's a round of 16.
No, because the round of 16 is the one that's happening now. So it's going to be it's going to be quarters, first leg, second leg, semis, first leg, second leg.
Wait, I don't think there's 2 legs.
Yes, there is. What are you talking about? It's Europe, Marshall. Have you forgotten Europe has 2 legs for quarters and semis?
Yeah.
Home and away.
Okay.
Right, so basically you've got 5 games there in the Conference League. After Conference League, we then go to the Premier League, and he's going to be a consistent sub. If we bring him in, so that'll be 39 minus 23, which is 16 games remaining, right? So he's going to be at least playing the 16 games, at least minimum 10 minutes, yeah. Or if he's not a star, that's a lot of games, bro.
That's not a lot of games. That's 11 games at most if you include all.
No, I'm not talking about him being a star. I'm saying I don't care if he's a star or not. I'm talking about him getting necessary minutes to be subs, not including obviously the chance of him maybe even being a star because of the fact that Lavia is injured and the other guys are getting injured as well.
Here's the thing. I want to follow your train of thought. The thing that's stopping me is that I just can't logically think that way because Maresca hasn't been thinking logically with his substitutes.
Yep.
Like, what are we gonna like? It's only since recently where, like, even yesterday, I was like shocked that he hooked Jackson at 60 minutes for Nkunku. Like, that was shocking for all of us, I'm sure, because it's just it doesn't happen. By the way, in the chat, Muna. I have my regular panel here. I know these people. I've worked with them multiple times. We do have a call-in show at the beginning of every Wednesday. If you want to join in on the call-in show and maybe be a regular and work your way that way, then it's possible. You're not the only one that's asked. Other people have asked. This isn't an open panel. If I don't,
I'll be in 1.5 weeks.
Yeah. This is an open panel. Quite frankly, if I don't know you, it's one of those things that I can't just platform everyone. That's not the type of channel that I have here. And plus, I need to know who the hell I'm platforming if I'm going to platform you.
We've had some wild ones.
Yes, exactly. So for the sake of my channel, I do not want.
We don't want to cancel Marshall, man.
Anyone.
You've cancelled him enough.
Yeah. I mean,
let's look at me.
Let's
look at me, man. I'm here to cancel Marshall Doria, man. One day,
essentially,
we will find you, Marshall. I'll cancel you for sure, man.
But in terms of like that, right? Like,
yes,
it's not that many games if you look at just the cup games and the Conference League games. Like, you're just not guaranteed the minutes in the Premier League. And you would argue this. I think just getting playtime in general is valuable, but you would argue this, that the quality of minutes, playtime in those competitions is not as good as the quality of minutes you're going to get in the Premier League. If Leslie Ugochukwu stays at Southampton,
I don't think it's just that, Marshall.
Minutes.
If I just before you continue, I think it's just about, when I take quality of minutes, right? You're currently in a relegation team, right? Yeah, you're playing maybe 80, 70 minutes right now, but how good is that quality of minutes you're getting, right? Because that's the thing for me. Yes, you're getting minutes, but is that minutes gonna be more better or more worse, whatever you want to call it, than getting Conference League minutes, sub minutes, and FA Cup minutes as a Chelsea team where you're learning the system? and you're actually playing the system. That's all. That's all
I do see the argument of, you know, getting minutes to adapt to the system and learn the system. I think that is valuable minutes, but at the same time, I think it's also valuable to have minutes where you're being challenged against tough opposition. And I think in those challenges, in those games, is where players start to flourish, players start to adapt and become better and learn from their mistakes. And, you know, a team like Southampton, although they're not good this season, they're likely to get relegated. Actually, where are Southampton on the table right now?
They're at the dead bottom of 90.
They're like 7 points or 6, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're getting relegated. But
I'll tell you what, though. Listen, the problem I have with what you just said there.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
The problem I have is that I'll just be quick with this. So we are with what you said there. We are prioritizing player development over the well-being of the first team, and where I stand on that is that sure you may leave Ugochukwu out on loan to get his minutes and maybe seek to make a profit. What if Caicedo goes down with an injury though? That costs, and I know you guys are all aware of this, so I'm not making a new point here. But Caicedo goes down for injury, we are not making Champions League football. What if Ugochukwu comes back to Chelsea, gives this guy enough rest that he can survive the season? We make Champions League football, and then the profit you ended up making on Ugochukwu being on loan at Southampton is superseded by the profit that you make by being in the Champions League next season.
So,
if we're looking at it from a money point of view, that's the way I'm seeing it. You have to prioritize the Champions League money over player profit.
That makes sense. And listen, in terms of where my mindset's at right now with this ownership, it does look a lot more like profit is the main priority, right? And I'm of the mindset that the best profit you're going to make is obviously competing in these Champions Leagues and sponsorship and all that stuff, right? But for me, there's a perspective of this that I think of as well, is right now we're seeing how the fan base is obviously reacting, how Veiga is leaving. Even though it's not really on the directors, it's more so Maresca not giving him the minutes, or on Roberto Martinez talking in his ear, people are still crashing out saying like, what are we doing in terms of planning? You bought this player that Maresca's not using, yada, 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 all this and that. Who's to say that Leslie Ugochukwu comes in, or even Santos? I'll even give it to you, Santos, right? Because let's also rewind back to the summer. Santos was the one that requested to go back to Strasbourg on loan. Who's to say that we bring back Santos, doesn't get that much minutes, now he becomes the disgruntled player that Veiga became, and now he's saying, hey, I want to go and leave and get minutes and develop because I don't see a path for me to get proper, consistent minutes here at Chelsea?
I thought my understanding was that we convinced him to go to Strasbourg for another season again because he didn't want to go to Strasbourg.
So from my memory,
unless I'm mistaken, that's what I'm asking.
We convinced him to go to Strasbourg because he wanted to actually stay. So he wanted to go to Forest, and we tried to convince Santos to stay at Chelsea and play with Poch. But because he wanted to go to Forest, then
I'm talking about this season, not last season.
No. I'm building up. So then the Forest loan doesn't work out. So then, because he needed minutes, because where we were, I think this is the part where it gets a little gray for me. I don't know if he asked to go on loan again, or if we just said, "Fuck it, we're just going to send you to Strasbourg." Then he comes back from Strasbourg after having a good half a season. And apparently what was said was that he requested them to go back to Strasbourg for this season. And we granted him that request, and now that's why he's at Strasbourg. So that's part of the perspective that I'm saying, right? Like, what happens if you do bring back Santos? He doesn't get those minutes that he was getting at Strasbourg. It upsets the player, and now you have a player that wants to leave the club because he doesn't see a way for him to get the minutes that he was getting over at, Strasbourg, for example.
Because the reason why I was saying that to you, because
it's kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't. But
my understanding was that the Chelsea were telling him, listen, we needed that for another season to develop.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're going to Strasbourg again. That was my understanding, at the very least. Unless something had changed, right? This season in particular. But I think for me, irregardless of the matter of what we're even speaking about, at the end of the day, right? why are we then signing a new midfielder? Because apparently the word on the street now is obviously we're trying to sign a new midfielder. So whoever this new guy is, he has to work for Maresca, I would assume, right? I think all of us would agree with that, right? He has to work for Maresca, because if he doesn't work for Maresca, then we've just made another signing, right? Which is the equivalent of Veiga, right? Because essentially, yes, Veiga did leave us because of other stuff that happened, but it's a young guy maybe we might sign who we're meant to be on the bench to help relieve the guys, but doesn't get relieved.
What do you guys think of that?
You see again, some people's mind today. Please, guys, hydrate. Please hydrate. This is sponsored by Nestle.
Yeah, I am thirsty. I am thirsty.
Thank you.
I'm gonna lie, I've been drinking water all day.
Crazy. They're saying now in the open like that, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, sure. I was just doing.
What was it that you say, Chris? On his knees, Chris? Is that what you say?
Well, I just got back. What? Why?
Say it one more time, Ahmed. One more time.
No, he just said get on my
one more
knees.
time for all of us that just checked back in.
No, he said get on my knees. Like I just.
No, I'm talking about I was just talking about the fact that obviously you were mentioning, Chris, the other day about people can't get on their knees and stuff. Obviously you can't because of your ACL, right? But
well, yeah,
Marsh was talking about his thirst and and desire and to be relieved.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm asking.
Is that what I missed, Marsh?
What do you mean by that?
No, I didn't say much of that. I did say I was thirsty.
You can't get on your knees because of your ACL. That God.
Well, he said that to me yesterday, man. That's what Chris told us yesterday. Isn't that right, Oliver? That's what he literally told us, bro.
He actually can't get on.
He literally said that to me, bro.
It's impossible.
You can get on one knee, right?
No, not really, because you still got technically bent the other one.
Jesus Christ, bro.
I can't have my other one leg stand.
What happened to this stream, bro? Chill. Let's relax.
All right, but say what you were saying one more time, Bobby, because I did lose track.
So I was talking about, right? Obviously, reality is Santos Uguchukwu, they're not coming in, right? At this point, unless
we'll see,
no, the reason why I say that is because the club is clearly they've come out themselves, or Fabrizio has come out himself, I should say, correct myself, and said they are looking for a new midfielder, right? And then obviously the Douglas Luiz links came out that we were rejected by him. So for me, it clearly looks like these two guys at this point in time, unless something miraculously changes, isn't coming to the hood, right? Or to Chelsea to say.
To that point though, like the Douglas Luiz links, they were loan links. We weren't trying to buy the players. That does say something too.
Yeah, that's so the point I'm trying to make is clearly there's another midfielder coming in. My thing is that whoever comes in now has to work for Maresca. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, bro, we just get another. I use Veiga because I was like, we'll just get another Veiga because he got 1 or 2 minutes really in Conference League. He was barely being used by Maresca. And then we're just back to the same situation of this. We're using Casadei non-stop. We're using Enzo non-stop.
But that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, Veiga's situation, he was getting... He was a starter in the Conference League. Let's just put that out there. He was actually playing... Yeah, I think he played every single Conference League game. Maybe barring one... I don't remember, but he did get some pity minutes here and there in the Premier League, and he did play, I believe, in the Carabao Cup.
And the Newcastle game too, I think he played as well.
There you go. So the Brentford game, no, it was a Bournemouth game, the first Bournemouth game. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you do bring a Santos back from recall them, or if you do recall Uguchukwu, I feel like it's going to be the same exact thing. You're muted, by the way. I feel like it's going to be the same exact thing. And I don't know how, obviously I can't say the player's going to react the same way, but you do run the possibility, you do run the risk that they could. I mean, CP, Chris, what do you think of that?
Yeah, like, if you know, was it the Wolves game where Caicedo went down and we was all worried? He might be out, and I'm thinking our season could be over at that point. So yeah, like, over relying on Enzo and Caicedo. If one of them, like especially Caicedo, gets out for like
100%.
a month or two or rest of the season, we're not going to pick up as much points as we normally would. I know lately we're not picking up any points, but like you even saw Man City, our best part of our on our field was, to me, still the midfield. So yeah, like we do need backup. Dewsbury Hall doesn't really do it.
I agree.
I thought maybe he's there for Enzo Maresca, but maybe he's just there to talk. For like spread a good word about Enzo Maresca, I don't know, but he weren't there to play football really. I would love Santos to
visit. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, my apologies. Bro.
No, I was gonna say I would love Santos to come. That Douglas Luiz on loan, I wouldn't buy him. I don't want to buy him because I think Santos would be better and Douglas Luiz anyway when he comes for next season. And I think Santos would be a great backup, especially for Enzo Fernandez. I think he be that player who could do the same thing as Enzo for sure. But yeah, we do need backup there.
Yeah, it's just I think to me it's a strange situation. Whereas, listen, it's all hypothetical, right? Like, who knows? Maybe you do bring back Santos and he doesn't care. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm still at Chelsea. I'll be a bench player. I don't mind.
If he's a bench player, he best get minutes because he's having a hell of a season right here.
But that's the thing. Like, Renato Veiga was getting minutes, right, in the Conference League and Cup, like Ahmed was saying, but he wasn't happy
Premier League,
with
though.
that.
He should get minutes in Premier League.
Well, that's where Maresca comes into the picture, and it's a weird situation. I mean, CP, what are your thoughts on this scenario? I mean, do you even care? Like, just bring in the player.
I just say bring in a player, to be honest. Like, even this kid you just mentioned, this Moroccan kid from Hellas Verona, right? He's a DM. But like Ahmed was saying, hey, if we bring on Leslie Ugochukwu, what is he going to do? He's going to play cup minutes, right? Yeah. So that's what this kid is going to do too. If we get this Hellas Verona kid, he's going to play cup minutes and maybe get subbed on at times for Premier League minutes, right? So it doesn't matter. And it sounds like we're going to get him and it's going to be like a swap. Yeah. What I mean is next season, Andre Santos comes in and we loan this kid out to Strasbourg because that's what the reports were saying as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just that we need a body right now.
Yeah.
Because right now we don't have an extra body in the DM position. If we're getting rid of Casadei and KDH is seen as a more attacking minded one. So yeah, we just need a body right now.
Yeah, it's situations like this that I kind of miss players like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, where they didn't really care too much in terms of what position they played or how often they played, as long as they were involved with the club in some shape or form. You know, they didn't put up much of a fuss, and obviously Ruben Loftus-Cheek was getting paid too much to do what he was doing anyways, coming off as a sub, but I can kind of see why they're going for this youngsters.
But Marshall, that happens because it's someone from our academy. That's the same with Chalobah. Chalobah was fine with being second fiddle. He just loved this club so much and cares about this club so much. Like, even now, we're basically abusing his career. Right? Like, he could be progressing way better, but he's come back once again to us because and every report keeps on saying. He even knows that he might get sold again or try to get sold in the summer. Yeah. But he cares about this club, and that's what you can kind of see.
No, Gallagher would have thrown up a fuss.
Like what the common players are saying in terms of that, right? Like that's the whole point of this homegrown talent is they have a deeper connection to it and won't make a fuss as much because they've gone through the process as a kid. They've looked up at these players and so on and so forth, right? With Veiga, he had no association to us. He's strictly looking at what can I do for me, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But, he's looking at his progression. Whereas you can see with Chalobah, he's like, I am looking at my progression, but the club is still first to me, even after this time. And it was the same for Loftus-Cheek as well.
Yeah. I'm curious as to why in this whole scenario, like, maybe it happens, I don't know, but why in this whole scenario that's been happening and lately, why Raksaki hasn't been kind of asked to rise to the Call of Duty in a sense, because we did see him make his debut in the Conference League. Obviously, it's a Conference League. It's not as, as intense of a competition, but it's one of those, like, listen, have him on the bench at least. Maybe he gets like 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to kind of feel it out.
Let's be completely realistic about that. That was the Astana game in minus 11 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Tani Chukwemeka played that game, and he's in no plans.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, Raksaki's not a DM.
Didn't he play as a DM in that game, though?
He did, like a center midfielder? He's not himself as a... Yeah, he's a center midfielder. He's a transition, ball playing, that kind of thing. He's not a DM. Right? That's so...
Yeah, I think it's a interesting dilemma that in an ideal world, you just recall them, nothing happens, they're fine with being substitutes, and that, it is what it is. I just have this feeling that might not be the case. But
You can say
Ahmed,
get
you
him
wanted to add something before.
Oh, okay.
Ahmed, you were gonna add something before.
No, I wasn't gonna add something. I was
okay.
I was crashing out. My apologies. You know what I mean? I was trying to get
It's all
someone
good.
to order some late night meals, and they couldn't control they couldn't control themselves. So I have to be the man of the house, and you know what I mean? That's what I tell you. I have to be the alpha.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't care, man.
Beta.
You know what I mean? There's too many betas, man. You know, we gotta be the alpha, man. You gotta be the not even the alpha, the omega. How about that?
And Marshall, he's such an alpha. He knows his entire weekend schedule. So during Flawless stream on Friday, Flawless asked, "Hey, like what's coming up for your channel?" Instead of saying what's up for his channel, he just gave us his entire weekend schedule, what he's gonna eat, when he's gonna go to the shops, when he's gonna get coffee. You know what I'm saying?
That's
when he's gonna have his dinner.
You know what it is though? I have OCD. What's going on? Like, can we not allow me? Because like I have OCD. Like I have to like I'm one time. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
does that.
let's transition over to this next topic. We're only 2 away from the big topic that obviously everyone is talking about and is the big headliner of today's show. But mysterious signing revealed. So we did get a signing, ladies and gents. Believe it or not, shock horror. We signed a player, but there was a mysterious signing
money out
that
there?
was. Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. There was a mysterious player, that was alluded to earlier. That maybe this is the player. I don't know. Chelsea are looking to sign a center back next summer, an established one, which we read about with the whole gay situation. Mamadou Sarr. To move from Strasbourg to Chelsea in the summer. Deal agreed for fee around 13 to 50 million euros. 19-year-old was the young defender referenced in previous articles regarding Chelsea defenders. So this is the here we go. Chelsea see Mamadou Sarr as key part of long-term project at center back. Deal will cost up to 50 million euros with add-ons. Long-term contract also agreed with Sarr and his representatives. 2004 born center back stays at Strasbourg on loan, then joining CFC for the club's World Cup. So this is our here we go, ladies and gents. Wow, it's we made business. There you go.
Chelsea really do be like FIFA when you get a player pick and you're hoping for a team of the year, and then you fucking get a common gold, man. That's what I fucking got right now.
Yeah.
Mysterious player, like a player pick, and then what do we get? Oh, I'm hoping I get team of the year. Whoever. Nah, I just got a fucking common gold, man.
Nah, those team of the year picks are ridiculously hard to pull right now.
I know.
It's like 1% chance.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Icons Nation, Icons Nation, man. Icons Nation.
Sure. Who the fuck is this player? Last time we had a Sarr, bro, it didn't work out.
Don't worry, Marshall, man. Young Kids FC.
I think Ahmed, but honestly speaking, I think Ahmed, because he watches the French league more, because I only watch it once a month probably.
Is this guy worth the hype?
Mamadou Sarr, he's got a good passing on him. He's very aggressive as well. That's something probably we've been missing in terms of our
centre backs.
Kind of
like Fofana.
Yeah, quite aggressive. Got a bit of pace on him. Good passer too. So yeah, I think that's it. But again, I think the thing for him is it's about development. He needs time, needs to develop. So. And again, I feel like, keep on saying the same thing. It's like, develop, time. It's like, I don't know if that's something that we kind of have, readily available for us as a team right now, bro, if you know what I mean.
The famous words.
Yeah. Guys, I'm tired of...
You have a good loan. You have a good loan. When next season he'll be on loan.
Hey, Mamadou Sarr, welcome to Chelsea.
No, he's not going to go on loan.
You made
playing
it.
at Strasbourg. Why would he go on...
Why would he... He's good.
No. Well, I think he's saying he's on loan right now. He's on loan right now. We loaned him back.
Back to the club he's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope his loan works out.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back out on loan next season.
No, I don't know about that. Dude, that doesn't make sense when he's progressing at Strasbourg. Why would we buy him to loan him out if he's already at Strasbourg?
I just remember just remember this. Yeah, when it doesn't make sense, but
Chris.
He goes out on loan again.
No, because I think might be the 5th choice center back because we're getting rid of Tosin. We want to sell him. We want to sell.
Actually, Humphrey's gonna get sold for sure.
We want to sell.
He's already been sold.
Because
has he? I thought he was on loan.
Yeah, he has.
No, he's already been sold. It's a loan
obligation. And then also, Anselmina's rumored to be the center back going to Strasbourg next season on loan.
Interesting. Oh, how
When
interesting.
did we sign Santos, by the way?
We
2
2 years ago.
summers ago?
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
times did we keep loaning him out for? Is it like two times a month?
This
This
is his third
apparently
loan.
this might be this might be the
This
last
will be the
one.
last one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
But-
asked him before he sold.
Yes,
That's
but,
why I
but,
wouldn't be
but
surprised if
once
this guy
again,
gets signed
once
back.
again, he was bought from Brazil, Chris, to get European experience. We got a guy playing for a feeder club already that we bought, so it doesn't make sense to loan him again if he's already at the feeder club. If we wanted him to
We
just
need to call CP. I got CP a new name. CPC, man. We need to call him CPC. Curry Power Clear Lake, man. You know what I mean? That's what we need to start calling him. Oi, 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 man. You know what I mean?
Those brown envelopes, man, for the brown.
There we go, man. There's brown envelopes, man.
Those brown envelopes for the brown, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Oh, guys, you know what? Now that we're here, I totally forgot. Chelsea did make another signing as well. Yeah,
No, we didn't.
I completely. Yeah, no, we did, Chris. I'm
No, we
not even joking, dude. We did make another signing.
Yeah,
Guys,
turned
welcome
out.
to the club. Our new striker, Dastan There you go. Here he is, guys.
Oh my, he's like,
Chelsea have
yeah.
agreed a deal to sign 2008 born talent Dastan Satpaev from Kazakhstan. So we went to Astana. we spoke with the locals and we got this guy. Transfer fee worth 4 million euros package, add-ons included from Karait Almaty. Yes.
You know how when you go on a trip and you're like, hey, I need to bring like a souvenir. Maybe I'll bring a magnet. Not Chelsea's just like, let me just buy another 16
Let's bring the youngster.
for my trip. Man.
That's
Let
my
me just
souvenir.
that's my souvenir from the country. Man. I went to
It's
Kazakhstan, got a Kazakhstan kid. Don't worry.
Oh my god. Record.
Man, this is like
look at
you know,
this.
this is like a
record transfer.
This is like
from
a-
Kazakhstan.
you know,
Where
this-
you guys Dastan would join Chelsea on a 5-year deal
man.
plus 1 year.
Well,
You know what this is like? Have any of you guys ever been on the Small World ride at Disney?
Yes.
yeah,
We got like a kid. You got a kid from every country.
yeah, man, we got it,
Oh my
man.
days, bro.
We're
We're just
recreating
collecting
the
them
UN,
all, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Z, man. We're you know,
I know no one knows anything about this guy. I know no one knows anything about this guy.
How dare
I mean,
you? How dare you
I
say
do know
I'm
something
not
about this
passive?
guy.
How,
Can I tell
You
can I
watch
tell
the
you
Kazakhstani football, bro?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so like, listen, I know he's born in 2005. So listen, that's what I know.
2008.
You're wrong. He's
2008.
2008.
Yeah,
Nah, I've been
fraud.
He said it. He
Absolute
just said
fraud,
it.
It's right in front of you.
He said 2008 signing, and man, 2 seconds later, he's like, I know a lot about him. He's from 2005.
That was the troll. I was trying to. That was the
Of course
troll.
you were.
That was amazing. Oh my God. Never changed, dude. Never changed.
What kind of trolling is
Yeah.
that?
I know the chat's excited for this player. Yeah.
Is he striker, did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a striker.
He's a striker.
He's got to compete with Goo. Yeah.
No, he's going to compete with
Don't
David
forget-
Washington, Chris.
Washington who? Like,
We're going to be saying who about this
That's
guy
FP2
in
legend.
fucking
That's
2
FP2 legend.
months.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare talk.
Chris,
about
you
this
know,
guy-
confirm, man. Gui has had more beards than what's it called than goals. Hey,
You have a Wonder Kid list? Oh, let's see. Santos was a Wonder Kid. Esteval, Angelo. Oh, yeah, what happened to Angelo? We just sold him too, didn't we?
He's in Saudi Arabia.
Salmino,
we saw this kid. in a
Diego
couple of years,
Moreira,
too.
Hutchinson, Carney, Leslie, Kellyman. To be fair, I don't think Kellyman was ever a Wonder Kid. Giu, Washington,
any Wonder
Whisper, Petrovic. I don't think Petrovic was a Wonder Kid either. Penders, yes. Sarr. Hutchinson, I don't think Moreira was considered a Wonder Kid either.
Yeah, we got him on a free from.
Moreira was
And
trash.
also-
He got converted to a left back.
Yeah.
No, Moreira.
Moreira is
Up for
doing
the
wonders, man.
He's-
Man,
he's
looking at
doing
Moreira,
well.
but Moreira
He's
Nation.
Nah, he's a good left back, but he was a trash winger.
Yeah, and also Hutchinson. Everyone and their mothers knew that was going to be a flip. We got him from Arsenal.
Yeah, we
for,
got
like,
him
chump
free
shit.
from Arsenal.
Everyone
yeah.
and their mothers was like, yeah, that's a flip right there.
Yeah, he went on a free from Arsenal. I remember that. Yeah. Listen, Wonder Kid from Kazakhstan. Just watch the space when he cooks. I don't know if he's gonna
It's a bit creepy, man. Marshall saying kids. You know what I mean?
There's
what
nothing I can
Chelsea's
do,
doing,
man.
man.
It's
Come
just
here.
Chelsea's doing to me, man. This is horrible.
Whoa.
All
What
right.
is Chelsea doing to you, mate? Whoa, chill out, mate.
Chelsea is making me suffer because the likes are not high enough. Ladies and gents, smash up those likes if you haven't done so
He's making him
already.
into Kyle Walker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The shooting up the club. There you go, man.
I actually don't know what you're referring to, guys. I just to be so honest with you. Guys.
You don't know that
Tell
Kyle
me
Walker.
backstage.
Kyle
Tell me
Walker.
backstage.
Kyle
Tell me
Walker can't use a
backstage.
condom. That's what the suggestion we're trying to make. Literally. Now you understand, now, don't you?
No,
There you go.
I don't.
Yeah, dude.
But
The
What?
Mills of Milan-
Let's make it make sense. Wait. It's quite
No,
easy.
we don't
Kyle
need-
Walker cannot use protection. What does that usually? If you use protection, what does that usually stop you from doing?
procreating.
Okay, and what's Kyle Walker known for?
I don't know.
Having a lot of
Having a lot of kids.
Does
Yes.
he have a lot of kids? I don't know.
Yes, he cheated on his wife, bro. He literally.
Oh,
was like
I
a-
genuinely do not know this. This is all new information.
Yeah, I
to
heard a
me.
little
Marcel's
bit.
discovering Kyle Walker's law. What is this stream?
What is this dream, bro?
I
think-
Yeah,
genuinely
you
do
know
not
what, man?
this.
Genuinely,
You could
Marshall
have
is
said
really
Nick Cannon,
proven.
and I would have understood that.
Listen, Marshall is really proven that this is Casually FC, bro. He's the casual, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why are we
He's proven it,
surprised
man.
here?
I love it, man.
don't
I
know
love it,
shit
Marshall,
about
man.
Kyle Walker. I know about my players. I don't know about other players. But
It was
it
actually
is
kind
what
of
it
big
is.
news, bro. That's the reason why I know about this.
I
Yeah,
know
it's all
nothing
over
about
the place.
this. I know nothing about
Milan
this.
already, man. The Mills of Milan already, man.
Oh my god.
Literally, bro.
Big up everyone in the chat. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. All right, let's get into what most people were probably waiting for. Let's talk about this whole saga. Nkunku, Garnacho, and Mateus Tell. All right, so let's start off with this. Actually, let me see what tweet. Oh, I know what tweet I'm ending on. Okay, let's start off with this. So, first tweet I have here is, according to Fabrizio Romano, Christopher Nkunku is not requesting to leave. It's all on Chelsea. Interesting. We continue on. Christopher Nkunku's proposed move to Bayern is currently on hold. Chelsea want him to stay and would only reluctantly let him leave if their valuation of at least £70 million was met. This was also, they also want a world-class replacement before sanctioning any move, according to Sky Cava. Let's see if that's even, possible. World-class replacement, not a world-class wonder kid. Right? Bayern and two Premier League clubs have inquired about the player, and Nkunku is known to be frustrated that he is not playing more regularly in the Premier League. Exclusive here from Plettigol as well as Sky Sports is Sky Sports Germany. Manchester United and Chelsea are now considering a swap deal for Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku, which no, thank you. That was reported 2 days ago. Man United have asked to be kept informed of the developments regarding Christopher Nkunku's future, while Chelsea continued to weigh up a formal move for Alejandro Garnacho, according to Rob Dawson at ESPN. He also reports here that Garnacho's preference is to join Chelsea if he has to leave Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano saying here, Chelsea are still expected to bid for Garnacho. It won't be easy as United want £59 million for the player. Chelsea are working on it and they feel the player is open to the move.
Alejandro.
That was reported 2 days ago. Earlier today, the latest is that Alejandro Garnacho is still waiting for an official proposal. So, still waiting. Nothing has happened yet. David Ornstein confirming here. David Ornstein with Ornstein Bomba. On Garnacho to Chelsea, there have been inquiries from Chelsea, but we don't know if it's going to materialize. I would expect it to go down pretty late in the window, and there could be some last-minute deadline activity. So all it is inquiries. We will see. There's not been a bid. There's been an approaching bid for the past week now, but no bid still. We will continue here. Now to Mateus Tell. Apparently, the Mateus Tell situation at Bayern is changing. There is now a chance he could that chance he will leave, and a deal with Chelsea, including Christopher Nkunku, could be an opportunity, according to Fabrizio Romano on YouTube earlier today. My feeling is that in the last 24 hours is that the Mateus Tell situation has changed. Chelsea continues to fight for Mateus Tell. They would buy him outright, while Nkunku's agents are still trying to get him to Bayern, according to CF Bayern here. Mateus Tell's situation will be discussed with Bayern again next week. Chelsea want him on a permanent transfer as talks took place with Nkunku and Bayern, according to Fabrizio. And an update too on Adeyemi, who is also in this little triangle of transfers. Napoli and Borussia Dortmund remain in direct talks for Karim Adeyemi. As reported last week, for Napoli is prepared to pay a 52.5 million euros package, including add-ons for Adeyemi, which would be an increase from the previous revealed 40 million euro verbal offer. Dortmund is now open to selling Adeyemi at this price, but as things stands, the player does not want to move abroad during the winter. United's Alejandro Garnacho is another candidate in Napoli to replace Kvaratskhelia. Wow. So this is all one huge triangle hullabaloo of transfers. Matheus Tel, and I forgot to add the tweet here. Apparently, 3 games now, Matheus Tel has not been even on the pitch for Bayern. There's a possibility to exploit the player's frustrations in an opportunity to convince him to come to Chelsea on a permanent. I don't know. I guess we'll start off with CP. I know you're aware of Matheus Tel. I'm curious what your thoughts on this whole love triangle.
So shout out to musical chairs. You know what I'm saying? Love that game as a kid. I guess I'm seeing it again in real life.
Yeah, this is pretty much it.
I think if Tel doesn't get any minutes Wednesday during the last group stage of the Champions League game, then it looks like he's going to be joining Chelsea, because the next game after that would be Saturday, and then it's basically the deadline of the transfer window.
Yeah.
So I think if he doesn't get any minutes on Wednesday, which I don't think he will, because it looks like they're pushing him out, then yeah. But it looks like everything's dependent on Tel. What I mean is, if Tel wants to move, then I think we get him, and then Nkunku goes to Bayern the other way. And then that way Napoli gets Garnacho. But if Tel doesn't move, I think we get Garnacho and Napoli get Adeyemi.
Do you think think Bayern are, because you said you think Bayern are pushing for the move, do you think it's because they want Nkunku?
Yes. I think they want him. Just in general, I think they want to put him behind the striker, behind Harry Kane as a second striker. You could see that because Musiala plays on the left and Alicia plays on the right. And and they're not even giving Tel any minutes this season. Like, even before this news, he was getting like 6, 7. I think the most minutes he got in the league being subbed on was like 14 minutes. And that was like a month ago. So he's not getting any minutes. Company doesn't fancy him. That's fine. Company's a bald bum anyways. So, hey, my manager's bald. I can say that.
Fair enough.
So yeah. So I think if he doesn't get any minutes this Wednesday during the Champs game, because I think they're playing like some.
Christ.
Sorry, what?
396 minutes all season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not getting any minutes, like literally any minutes.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, so like he wants to stay at the club, but he's literally not getting any minutes. So I think, yeah, it depends on if Tels wants to move, then we get him. Right? I think.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like some swap move. So let's say like we'll buy Tel for 50 million and we sell Nkunku for 60 million to Bayern. So technically, you know, in both their books, they're not paying a lot of money, right? Like technically, we get a 10 million extra money, and Bayern can put in their books right away that they have 50 million off their books from the Tel sale. So it's only like a 10 million deficit for them as well. So it makes a lot of sense. And then Nkunku did well in the Bundesliga. And what screams Bayern Munich than getting an ex-Bundesliga star playing for a rival team?
That is true. By the way, Matheus Tel not getting minutes, I do want to clear this up. Him not getting minutes isn't necessarily a what's the word I'm looking for? But it's
like
it's
him
not
being
necessarily
bad or anything. It's just
it's not a judgment on him.
Yeah.
But it's also like you have Musiala. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to. You have Musiala in the left,
and
Harry Kane as striker. So it's like really hard for the player to get minutes outside of, let's see, even Champions League. He's barely getting any minutes. Yeah, most of his minutes, from what I can tell, are coming from the Pokal. And even then, he didn't get any minutes when he went up against Leverkusen. So as soon as things got more serious, they're like, nope, we're putting in our best team. Yeah, so he played
Yeah,
against Freiburg.
and you could say and you could say it's very. I'm not saying in terms of he's gonna hit the ground running people like Palmer, but that was what Palmer's deal was when before he joined us. He was getting very much spare minutes in the league, was getting some cup minutes, but that's about it. And he just wanted game time, and that's why he wanted to leave because he wanted game time. Right? I don't think he's gonna make straight away impact, but I think. Maybe not this season, but next season, he's going to be at least better than Mamadou on the wings. I see him as a goal-scoring left winger for us next year. This year, he can be a goal-scoring left winger / backup striker because he can play striker and he has like 90% win rate in the air. So if you are going to do these crosses from Neto and Reece James, he's way better aerially than Jackson has ever been.
Yeah.
So
because I was just about to ask too, like, do you guys reckon that this season at least he can come in as like a backup striker? Like, I wouldn't even say like backup. Like right now he comes in and he starts over Jackson for a few games, see it out, and see, just give Jackson competition. Ahmed, I am curious your thoughts too, because I know you're familiar with the player as well.
I mean, he's a good player. I don't know how much we would have to sign him for. I don't know what the value would be, but I just think for me, I just don't see what you're asking me right now. Because like I think my issue is, if this was a summer signing, I don't think I would have any issues with it. I'd be all for it. I'd probably want him as well. But like, I think for me, I need someone that's gonna add value straight away. You know what I mean?
You don't think he can come in and compete with Jackson?
I don't.
Or at least
think
give us
so, because,
another
like,
option in the striker position.
I think with him, I think the difference between him and Palmer also is that I think at least Palmer had the Premier League minutes. He'd been over a squad for a season before. I think with him, it's gonna be a time. And I want. Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you. What you saying,
You're
Prime?
very muffled. One more time, CP.
But I think CP. I think is talking about.
No, I was saying yeah, exactly. He got some games
Yeah.
with Tuchel, and he had the best goal to game ratio then, right? With Tuchel, he had some minutes there.
Yeah, but
He
I
had
think
2 seasons with Bayern.
the point I was making is that, in the Premier League, that's the difference, right? He hasn't had this experience in this league. I always say the Bundesliga and the Premier League they're a little bit different, right? So he's going to need time to bed in and stuff like that. So for me, my thing is, I don't think he's going to have the immediate impact that I would want right now. That's why I'm saying to you, if this was in the summer, I would be making sure this guy comes to my club straight away. I would want him in my club straight away. I just don't know if he adds value right now. Does that make sense? That's what I'm looking for. I think if in this January, I need him now. I need someone now to make the impact that's necessary. I don't know if Tower's going to give that to me straight away. Because I'm pretty sure CP would agree with me with that one. Because I don't know if he's going to hit the ground running straight away.
No, I agree. That's what I said. I don't think he's going to hit the ground running this season, but he still gives us a different profile in terms of ball striking and heading ability compared to Jackson. So I think he's a more viable substitute than Nkunku when he comes on.
But I mean,
but that's pretty. But again, yeah.
What? Let me ask you this then. I mean, I kind of know the answer to my own question here, but you say, you don't know how he's going to impact the team coming from Bundesliga.
Like this season, yeah.
This season. But you have the likes of Omar Marmoush, who yesterday, I don't think he had a good game yesterday. He was constantly being played offside. But people want to say because he was in action, he was in the limelight a lot, he had an impact. Sure, whatever. But he came in straight away and he looked like he was up to make an impact. And like he could be effective. He just needs to work on his timing and all that. You don't think maybe Matthijs Tel can do something along the lines of an impact like that? Like you don't think it can just translate over? Like I know there's a whole Bundesliga tax and that.
Marmoush is getting week in, week out. He's playing week in, week out, and that's the thing, right? He's playing week in, week out, doing amazing.
Week in, week out, and he's in the form of his life right now as well.
Exactly, week in, week out. That's the thing, right? And that's why he looks so lively. And you could say the timing was off. We were just playing some weird offside shit like Spurs. But with other teams, I think he's gonna fucking kill it. He's gonna destroy these, man.
The problem with Tel, I think the problem with Tel is he's not been getting minutes, right? Obviously in the league, he's been getting limited minutes. He's then also coming into a new league, and so and he's a young guy who still needs that time to develop too. So you're kind of being hit with like a triple whammy. Does that make sense? That's and again, like Tel is a good player, he's a quality player. I would love Tel at the club, but I think we were linked to him in the summer. I wanted him. If we were linked to him again this summer, I would want him. I think the issue is, and I've said this to you, Marshall, I think right now Chelsea needs someone that's kind of number one in the striker position, right? Because if that makes sense, not necessarily more than anything else.
And that's why, like, I think when we talk about Chelsea and we talk about that striker position, I think the plan was always to get Osimhen, and they fumbled it. So now they're like kind of scrambling to see like, okay, we need something because Osimhen's not going to come in January. We could try to approach that again in the summer and see what happens. We need a solution now. You know, it's another fumble from the sporting directors, which this is why I gotta put that on them.
We should ask Oliver the question too, because obviously he's here too. Might as well ask him what he feels about it.
Yeah, Oliver. I mean, what do you?
Sorry, what's that?
Hotel situation. The hotel situation. What do you feel about this? Obviously, Garnacho is still waiting for a bid, but apparently it looks like our number one interest is Matthijs Tel.
Okay. I don't know too much about the player. So this is actually really hard for me to answer, to be honest.
He's only played 381 minutes this season.
I mean, again, that's back to Ahmed's point with the sharpness problem. I mean, maybe he's sharp in terms of training, but the match sharpness to be able to come in and, you know, you'd want him, with the form Jackson's in right now, you'd want a player that can come in and play full 90s at this current rate. Sure. Is he able to do that? That's a question. I don't know because I haven't watched him. But could be a good option.
Go ahead, Oliver. I'll ask after.
No. I finished. You can go.
Okay, because I was gonna say, even then, like, what if I know there's two things I'm thinking. Like, what if, you know, you bring him in, he starts his first game, and then he plays like 60 minutes and Jackson comes on, or vice versa. You start to that's the automatic substitution when the results still aren't there. You just bring in Tel and have him play 30 minutes at a time. I think you can quickly kind of adapt them, catch them up to speed to how to play the system and so on and so forth.
Well, the thing is, I think it's a grey area because I don't know what Maresca would do in terms of, like, you're mentioning it as a substitution thing with Jackson.
Yeah.
Play 60 and then bench 30. I don't know. Like, Maresca's been doing this thing where Jackson has to stay on the pitch all the time unless it's that dreaded Nkunku.
Him and Palmer, literally.
Him and Palmer, yes. But,
yesterday was the exception. That's about it.
But focusing strictly on Jackson here, I don't know if Maresca would continue that with another option. Is he only doing this keep Jackson on at all costs thing because he has a number 10 and Mark Hiu as his backup 9 options?
I think he's doing it.
Or is this just a Maresca way? I don't know.
You know, because I think we can add this. Like, let's say, for example, if one of Tel or Garnacho comes, right? Who's to say that Maresca then sees these guys as real quality and then starts bringing them on? Because the thing is, whether we like to admit or not, Nkunku, João Felix, right? They were brought for similar amounts of money, probably even more, right? And who's to say then Maresca then decides, I want these guys to start, right? Because that's a question we got to ask yourself. Because I think right now, the one thing I can say about the club is clearly making the signings, and then the manager is then choosing if he wants to play these guys or not.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it's working so far.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. But
because that's why I'm more fine with this signing, because Nkunku is playing at striker and we know he's not good at striker. So I'd rather have a guy who even has a possibility, who's played striker in his life compared to Nkunku, who gets minutes but shows nothing at striker, right? But just because he doesn't work for my club is fine, but I'd rather have a guy who's played. And in terms of game time, yes, so there's some good and some bad in this, right? He's going to have pressure to make instant impact, but because we also play in Conference League and have that too, he's going to get starting minutes for that. And he can also build up his... Maybe he might start off slow, right? But then maybe by April, because he's playing Conference League games and Cup games, he's starting to pick up form in those matches and is ready to make an impact as a sub or as a starter later in the business end of the season.
But back to Ahmed's point, though, you're preferring someone that comes in with an instant impact to get top 4, especially. You can't wait till
because
Yeah,
the
but-
problem
but
is
we-
like what you
we
said.
know
I
we're
know
not
you
getting
finished CP,
anyone.
bro. Sorry, CP. What you
Sorry,
saying?
no, go, yeah, sorry, go,
No,
go, sorry.
because I think CP's point is it's better than getting no one else, right? Because like, is that what you're gonna say, CP? Because if you say that,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
then
no, that's what I'm saying. Is because Nkunku's not playing, right? And we're not linked with any strikers, and no big striker is moving anywhere in the winter, right? Gyökeres is not moving anywhere. Oshiman's not moving anywhere, right? No links to any club. I'm not just saying
I
Chelsea.
get what you mean. I get what you
has
mean.
no
Yes.
links, right? Even Arsenal's getting linked with Sesko at best for top
Yeah.
strikers, right? So no big striker is going to be moving in January. So let me at least get a guy who's played striker, who plays striker.
First, okay.
And can play as a wing too. That's why right, rather than Nkunku, who doesn't play that, the manager doesn't trust him, as Ahmed is saying.
The thing is though, can I also listen? I think if CP is saying that point, then CP's point is valid, and I would then you know what? I think that's fair enough, right? I think my question would be, how do we know? I'm gonna use both Tell. Then I'm gonna use, let's say, the plan B, which is Garnacho, and I don't know if there's a plan C, right? Anyone that comes in of the three that we're mentioning right now, who's to say that the manager is agreeing to it, right? That's the question we've got to ask ourselves as well, right?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
right, because that's the thing we also need to realize, right? Because the club has brought in certain guys that the manager may not have wanted and has not played enough as well.
So
Yeah, no,
for
I
me,
agree.
Go ahead, CP.
So-
Right,
No, no.
because for me, you don't, because the thing of both Tell, Garnacho to a certain extent as well, is that we run the risk then, of like, then we bring these guys in to be reinforcements to help the team, to maybe give the manager some options that maybe, and then the manager doesn't play them. Right, that's the risk we run, which is a problematic risk, right? Because then it's like we've then brought in another guy. That's what I was talking about, Veiga, for example, where we've brought in this good quality guy, maybe to help the squad, who can do more positions, but then he's not being used at all. And then we're almost back to Jackson Nation and stuff like that, right?
No, I get you, but then my thing is that Maresca says he sees Nkunku as a 10. Right?
See?
That's the thing.
I listen, yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm listening, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying he sees Nkunku as a 10, and that's why the dilemma for him is like, I have to play Nkunku, but I can't play him anywhere in the 10. So I'm playing him as striker. At least with Tell, he's probably going to see him as a striker, so I feel like he's going to choose him more, and it's going to look more natural than having an Nkunku there.
But could we not make that same argument for Gui, for example, right? Because then that argument would also then track with Gui, because Gui's a natural striker, and he's not even getting any touches of the ball at all, or game time.
So for me,
or how would he counteract that point? Obviously, that I'm making, because that's what someone would probably say. Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I hear what you're saying, because at the end of the day, I think what's happening is that this is all coming from the sporting directors.
Exactly,
I don't think Maresca really necessarily has a say. I think Maresca can say like, hey, listen, I'm struggling because I need another striker, but then it's up to the sporting director's jurisdiction if they're going to bring him one or not, or see what's going on the pitch, and they'll be like, I mean, you can make, I disagree. You can make something work with him, play him more often or something, right? But I think there's a bit of a issue with both the names that you listed, and I think this is something that no one's brought up. Well, it is something that no one's brought up, which is the fact that when you look at why Jackson is continuing to play, early on in the season, we had no issues getting goals from Nkunku. At the same time, Jackson was also getting goals. In that same period, we didn't have issues with Mark Guiu pressing, but we had issues with him scoring goals. Not to mention he's also inexperienced. He's 18. It's a lot of pressure to put on the kid. I understand that. For me, I think part of the reason that we are linked with a Matheus Tell, for example, and you could even say maybe a Garnacho. I don't watch enough Garnacho to confirm this, but from what I've seen of Matheus Tell, and it's not very much, he does have a tackle in him. He can press. He can get stuck in and do the things that, Jackson does on the pitch. So in a sense, and someone said this earlier, in a sense, he's of a similar profile to Jackson, kind of like how we were linked with Delap, right? Whereas, like, if one person in the system isn't working, then you have someone of a similar profile to replace him with in the system that fits the system. So for me, I think the reason for the links that we have is the pressing ability. I think that's a big issue with why we continue to see Jackson play, because what happened yesterday? Nkunku came on 30 minutes. We stopped becoming much of a threat in terms of the pressing.
But Marshall, like, I'm gonna address the first point. You talked about obviously age as one of the things you were speaking about, correct?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, Tell is 19, by the way. Right?
I know, he's young, yeah.
Mark Gui is 18, so I don't really feel like the age argument there is going to land in that instance, because they're both young lads, right? So, regardless of the matter, of that one. And I think you talked about like pressure and stuff like that. I think for me, Mark Gui does a great press. He's probably our best presser in the team, right?
Yep,
so,
I agree.
so for me, I don't really feel like that's an excuse that we need to get another presser, because we have a guy that can do that job for you quite effectively. Even if he's not scoring the goals, at least he's there. He's a menace. He's doing the pressing job that we need from him, and at least that's doing something for you.
I just think in terms of like, because obviously I get what you're saying with the argument, right? With the whole Mark isn't that much younger than Tell. But I think in terms of talent levels, there's a bit of a gap. Like, some players are born with more talent than others. Some players are more developed at one point in their career than other players, right? And you can make that argument for Gui. I forgot already. I'm not gonna play the video. But the thing with Mark though is that
you got it right.
Gui, yeah, thank you. The thing with Mark though is that he has the pressing. Whether, I don't know if I agree with he's the best presser. I think he can run a lot and he's really energetic.
Would you say he's the better presser than Marshall?
I would say probably Jackson, to be honest.
No, he's a better presser than Jackson.
No, he was better than Jackson. The way
I'm being honest.
Even yesterday's game, there were so many times where Jackson was lackadaisical after the 30th minute. I see you even in conference league games from minute one run like someone's chasing him from a horror movie. Okay, that man runs
maybe. I just think, like, you know, I don't want to misconstrue pressing for what Conor Gallagher used to do, right? Like, you can run around and not be effective versus you can press, not look as busy, but still be as effective. So you guys might be right. It might actually be Gui, because when I think about it, the amount of times he's dispossessed the opposition in the games that we've seen it's pretty consistent. That's how he gets his chances, but then he doesn't put them away. Not all the time. He has in recent games in Conference League, but who's to say he can do it at this level? I think part of the reason why we are linked with Tell, part of the reason that he could fit into the system is because of that pressing factor.
Again, at the end of the day, I get the Tell point. If we sign him, would I be angry about it? No. I would. Of course, I wouldn't mind him. Again, if this was a summer sign, I'd probably be a bit more excited about him. I would probably say, compared to right now. But I just think, for me, at the end of the day, is he what we need right now to really impact the squad? Like, in terms of like what we really need to sort of like guarantee. I think fundamentally, just no. You have to say it's no.
I agree. Yep, I agree.
I have to say it's no, bro.
EPL, like, I get pressing is the basics, but not every team does it. Not every team relies on it. Not everyone does it. You know,
and not every striker does it properly too.
Not every striker does it properly, which is why we saw with Nkunku yesterday. He came on. I was surprised he came on and got 30 minutes, but notice that once he came on, there were no more defensive errors from Man City at the back. It stopped. There's a reason for that. Because he just doesn't like, he's not the type, his effectiveness in pressing isn't as good as a Jackson, for example.
No, but that's the problem with what happened with our attack even in yesterday's game after 30 minutes, right? It's because our striker is the one actually leading the press. And because after 30 minutes, Jackson decided to not press as much, or not even close to as much, that's why we saw less mistakes being made by Man City's back, right? In the first 30, we were pressing so much, especially with Jackson as, like, you know, the one leading the press, where that's why Kusanov and everyone was making mistakes and we were having these counterattacks on these chances. But if you don't have that guy leading the press properly, then it just reduces the press, and then your first line of defenses goes away.
And I guess this is where we go back, right? Where, like, Maresca doesn't see Nkunku as a striker because maybe Nkunku, like, he's not as a striker, he lacks that ability to lead a press. Like, that's why he's not naturally the one that does it. Whereas Jackson maybe more naturally is the one that does it. But even Jackson, he's more of a, well, is he more of a left winger? I don't know. He's developing into a striker. But he did start as a left winger. Because he doesn't give a shit about our club. Well, we'll see if that's the case, because apparently Fabrizio's saying he didn't request to leave. So that's something. I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end of the window. So that being said, I think that was a good discussion on Matthias Tell and all this stuff. There are other links as well that I did want to bring up in terms of that left wing position. This is something that I don't think is going to happen this window. We will look at it. And you guys can probably tell me more about it. Jamie Gittens. So this is a player we've been monitoring for a while now. Nothing's really been happening on this forefront, I don't think, but there is still, Chelsea are still eyeing the player. And we'll see what happens. But Fabrizio Romano here reporting that Chelsea are closely monitoring Jamie Gittens for his evolution and excellent potential. The feeling is it will be tough to do in January, really complicated and difficult. Dortmund want to keep him in case something crazy happens for the summer. They are monitoring. We continue on here that Chelsea made formal inquiry for Jamie Bino Gittens last week, while Liverpool also sent their scouts several times to follow his progress this season. Borussia Dortmund expect Jeremy Gittens to stay in January. Meanwhile, top English clubs have started to make their moves. You guys probably know more about Jamie Gittens than I do. He looks like a decent player, but I don't follow Dortmund. Jez is the Dortmund fan, and I don't know who else is a Dortmund fan in our panel, but what do we think about this Jamie Gittens? Is this something that you guys would be interested in entertaining in the summer? How old is he, by the way, actually? It's another one.
I think he's 20 now.
I did want to point out that currently Dortmund sit in 11th. They're struggling
they
this
saw
season.
him. No, they saw him. So, yeah.
Yeah, they've made some very strange moves in terms of management and ownership, I think, as well. Not even ownership, but like directors and stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think
well
for me, he's a very talented player. He had this like moment, not breakout. This is like basically his breakout season, but like he had like his moment, like welcome to the league.
Oh, he's English. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had his welcome, like
he's from the Man City Academy.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Last season he had a few big moments. Last season, that's what like kind of put his name out there. But this season's been really his breakout season. This is the season that Borussia Dortmund decided like we're gonna make him a fully starter, because that's what Borussia Dortmund do. They usually get the main guy that's there on the left wing to leave, and they bring this guy up to be the main guy for them. And again, he's a quality player. Let's not get it twisted. Good player, knows what he needs to do, can make and everything like that. But I just don't think right now. Again, he's another one where he's developing right now. It's gonna cost you quite a bit of money.
Not the immediate impact.
Not immediate impact again. And this is the issue that I've kind of been having recently, a bit more of the clubs model, where I'm like, listen, I get if you want to say young players, but we need to get young players that are gonna make immediate impacts, that have got some level of like experience, bro, that can do a job straight away. Does that make sense, Marshall? Like, I don't think I feel like my problem's becoming now that we're becoming too much of the like too many young players that need to be developed, and less so players that we need to get a job done now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like I get in certain positions, you're gonna have to get guys that need to develop. That's just a fact of life, bro. Right? Like in the centre back market, we've spoken about that quite regularly, about the guys you're gonna have to get there, gonna need time and stuff like that. But at certain positions right now where we just need finished articles.
It's actually funny you just mentioned the center back market, because that's something I did want to bring into the discussion as well. Because you were saying about finished articles, and there is a player that we were linked with today, or even yesterday, that has a release clause that I want to bring up. And that was something we wanted to discuss as well. So just really quickly to get into that, Enzo Maresca on whether Tosin and Axel Disasi will be allowed to leave Chelsea this month amid interest. At the moment, they are both with us. The intention is not to allow them to go, but we are in January and anything can happen. And listen, I know people wanted to crash out about these comments. I understand not letting them go because you need bodies. And unfortunately, even if you don't like their level, they are bodies nonetheless that are needed. So Chelsea has no plans to sell Tosin Adarabioyo, as he's an important player for Enzo Maresca, and players are also happy at Chelsea. And here we go. So Fabrizio Romano last week had mentioned this. All big clubs in England are keeping an eye on Dean Huijsen. Bournemouth does not want to sell him in January and is closing the doors at the moment. I think in the summer we will talk a lot about him. And then earlier today, it was revealed that apparently, understand Dean Huijsen has a release clause into his contract valid for this summer. Told Chelsea really appreciate Huijsen and he's high on the list. Bayern called to be informed. Bournemouth are unbeaten since Huijsen entered into the starting 11 with 8 clean sheets, which is very impressive to see. Chelsea really like Dean Huijsen and rate him highly. They see him as a top talent. He is on the list and are aware of the release clause buried in his contract for the summer. So a player that I misread this. I thought this was available now, but apparently release clause becomes activated in the summer.
I was surprised we didn't go for him last summer. I'll be honest, knowing Chelsea.
I was gonna mention that. We did discuss this, and it is gonna be in a video that's coming up. Is that in terms of the scouting, we do a decent job in the midfield. You know, even if you don't rate the attack right now because of the slump we're in, we do a decent job in the attack. We are the 4th best attacking team currently statistically in the league. At one point, we were the best ones, but, you know, the goals have dried up a little bit. It's not going to stay that way, in my opinion. But in terms of defense, what the hell is going on, man? We can't.
This is something I spoke to you about, Marsh. Remember, I told you, bro. Like when it comes to like the attacking and midfield options, even the fullback options, bro, we're quite good at finding the talent in those areas. But when it comes to the, you know, how shall I say, the other options, trash.
Center back, goalkeeper,
central
trash.
defenders.
Yeah,
Dude,
bro.
I can't even say, but I can't even say that about goalkeeper now. In terms of Sanchez is a bum, but Petrovic is looking fucking good now. Eh?
Well, I mean that's a good point too.
Petrovic is looking good now, boys.
Yeah, it's just I guess
And
maybe
Solanina, I can't say
team
anything.
building.
He's 19. He's 19. I can't say much.
He actually was
about him.
having a good loan, you know, before his injury. Funny enough.
Yeah, Solanina, I know, exactly. And Penders is now getting more game time after his injury now too, so we'll see how that goes. But like Sanchez is a bomb, but center backs, I completely agree. And the point of Ahmed, you know how you were saying about Gittens, and we need someone who can make instant impact now.
Yes.
But I think it's the same thing like you were saying in the center back is we have to go young, right? Because
that's what I was saying. Yeah, there's some positions where I agree with CP. Some positions it's just gonna have to be the reality that we just face.
Yeah, because I only see 3 left wingers that could make an instant impact. One's in Rodrigo, he's in Madrid. One was in Kvaratskhelia. We didn't take a chance on him. He's in PSG. And then you could say right now, this season, but he's hit or miss, is probably Luis Diaz as left wingers who have experience, who have you know done things. But every other left winger is young and needs to, like, you know, Bradley Barcola is having a great season. Gittens is having a great season. Like, so, you know, even so many we barely knew about. Dibling's having a great season, but once again, young. So, yeah, it's just, I think the left wing and the center back positions are the 2 positions where we're not going to be getting the world-class ones unless Rodrigo is willing to move from Real Madrid. Then pay 100 million. I'm telling you right now, slap 100 million, and that's your left wing covered for the next 7 to 8 years at a world-class level.
But that's the part that baffles me, though, CP, is that, like, listen, Mudryk is still up in the air in terms of what could have been potential-wise with that player. But, like, Neto's not a bad left winger. Neither is Jadon Sancho. Like, in terms of the wings and the attack, like, there is good talent there. Whether we misprofile them in this system, that's a different, you know, discussion. But when it comes to the center back position, we've been doing nothing but striking out. Like, you got Badiashile, who wasn't good enough. Disasi, who, well, Badiashile was good at one point, but he's taken a drastic drop off since. Disasi, emergency signing? I don't know, but we could have probably gone for a better center back other than Disasi, there was I'm sure there was more center backs out there. Tosin on a free, it's just an advantageous signing, but was he even good enough to even be at Chelsea, like at that level to play and really lead the squad? Not really, if you ask me. They decided to keep Colwell, which verdict is still out on Colwell whether he's going to be good enough or not. You ousted Chalobah. And I mean, again, I still don't know if he's a solution to center back issues. Like when it comes to building the team, the center back position is the one that they just not been at it. I mean, Anselmino, time will tell. You've seen more of Anselmino than the rest of us, but it's concerning. It's concerning. And now you have Dean Huijsen, who, if Chelsea had scouted it a season earlier, like he came from Juve, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, Juve, there's Dean Huijsen. You have Milenkovic, who Nottingham Forest signed. Why wasn't he someone that we scouted earlier? Victor Roque or Victor Reis, who went to Man City. We were linked with him, but nothing ever came of that. We never followed through on it, and now he's over to Man City. Who knows if he's going to work out or not, but I'm sure if Man City are scouting him, there's probably good potential in that player. Like, it just, to me, I can't wrap my head around it. And now we're going to pay more for Dean Huijsen than if we had just scouted him originally.
Yeah, I get that, Marshall. I just think for me, you just got to look at the scouting department there, really. The scouting department, maybe even the sporting directors as well, really. Like, I think the centre-back market, bro, signings, yeah, I genuinely felt that they still believed in Disasi, Badiashile, and everyone else. That's why they weren't targeting anyone. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, it's a very... that's the phenomenon I can't get my head around. Like, I can only hope that it changes with Aaron Anselmino and with potentially other center backs that we could recruit in the future. But like, I mean, let's talk on Huijsen. I mean, Oliver, are you a fan of this move potentially in the summer, Dean Huijsen to Chelsea?
I'm not really a fan. I mean, I'd want someone that's more of a proven experience profile. I mean, not that the player's bad, but and again, if we had him instead of maybe like a Fofana or something, and there was a more experienced partner on the side, then fine. But we don't have that.
Sure.
And just back to the point as well, like you talk about the scouting, you know, the whole point behind this whole model, or one of the ideas behind it, is that we are cutting out these middlemen like Brighton and Bournemouth, and we don't have to pay 50, 60 million pounds for these players. Mm-hmm. We've not done it once. We've not unearthed a diamond besides Cole Palmer, and even then, like that was a nepotism by like, you know, Joe Shields and all that. That was a fairly, you know, obvious one from his point of view. But besides that, there's not really been that paying 10, 20 million and getting a world class or even top Premier League class player. So I just ask the sporting directors, where has it all gone wrong? Because we are multiple years into this now when we should be seeing the fruits of that labour.
I disagree with you there, because we just are praising Andre Santos, who we got for 20 million, Leslie Guchuku, we got for 15 million, who's now starting for Southampton, who's wanted by players. We got arguably the best thing coming out of Brazil in attacking sense since Neymar. So we paid 60 million for Esteval. I'm not. Yes, okay, so that's like saying and Endrick was bought for a record fee also when Real Madrid plays. Does that mean anything?
Vinny was 100 mil, I think.
Endrick was worth 40 million.
Endrick was 100.
No,
no way.
It was 45 million. 45 million.
Yeah,
and before that,
this guy came with a PR package and everything. Started doing commercials and shit.
And also before Endrick, Real Madrid paid a record fee once again for a Brazilian player not named Neymar and Vinny for 40 million, Rodrigo for 42 million. So they paid stupid. You're saying, yeah, we paid 60 million. Yes, that's 60 million with add-ons. But before us, when we broke the fee, every other young Brazilian kid that was under the age of 21 was Real Madrid who bought them, in Endrick, in Vinny, and Rodrigo. And two of them are world-class already, right now.
Well, that's true as an isolated incident, considering the money paid. But I'm just talking about, like, with Huijsen specifically, again, where was this whole model where we're supposed to not be paying these?
No, I know, but you're saying we have one gem. No, but I disagree about your point of being one gem. Andre Santos is another gem.
I
We can say
was
that for
probably
sure.
being too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
hear
that's
that.
the only point
yeah.
I was saying. No, I get you, but every
Okay.
other point I was just saying when you said one gem, that's the only point I was disagreeing with. That's all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, in terms of Dean Huijsen, though, CP and Ahmed, where do you guys? Is this a player that you would bring in the summer?
I wanted him in the summer. Funnily
Yeah.
enough, he was one of the guys I thought would be a great. I was surprised. I was shocked when I saw that he went to Bournemouth, bro. I'll be real. I was actually really
by the way.
shocked.
Yeah,
And like,
right.
yeah, and like I just
Wait,
think
was
for
he on a
me-
free or was it just really cheap?
Only 10 million, bro. Like 10
Really
or 15
cheap.
million.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I was very shocked. So I just
Wow.
think for me, again, at the end of the day, I just look at some of these signings and some of the stuff that's happening, and it's just like, guys, we need to be doing better here. We can be doing better. We should be doing better. Yeah, I just think for me, again, bro, I would love him at the club. I think he would add value to us. You already know my position on that position as well. Like, reality is, you're not going to be able to get top players in that position, regardless of whatever happens. Like, you just got to start creating players there now. Unless, like, you're willing to give Van Dijk, a 400k a week contract, which our club is showing that they're not doing that. So, because you know what our club's like. No, we're doing like maximum 50k a week as of right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Curry, did you want Huijsen as well? Would you take him in the summer, I should say?
Yes, but we need to get so if we're getting rid of Tosin, we're getting rid of Badiashile, and we're getting rid of Disasi, then yes. Because
I think
I'm assuming we're going to
stays,
keep.
to be honest with you.
Because I'm assuming we're going to keep Fofana for another year. We're going to keep Colwell for another year.
That'd be
So
kind of crazy. ain't gonna lie.
my two signings for this summer in terms of center back would be Mark Gahey and Huijsen, because we also got the Sarr kid, like you mentioned earlier, from Strasbourg.
Yeah, Mamadou.
I think he might be our fifth choice center back, but I think if we have these four, that's a solid four then for me, right? You have Mark Gahey with experience, you have Huijsen who can play left or right, and you have Colwell and Fofana. Let's see how Fofana is, but in general, right? And if you need an extra backup, Josh Achepong can also play center back / right back. So I think that would be a very strong foundation for like a center back grouping.
Let's hope, man, because this is a department that even this window, man, or not even this window, this season, it's from the beginning, even when things were going well for us in the league, we could see the issues, man. And defensively, we were not at. That was one of the number one reasons I was giving, besides the goalkeeper too. I mean, I put that into the defense as well, but like that was the number one reason why I was telling people like we are not in the title race. Like this defense is not good enough to see out games unless we like outscore the opponent, and you just can't. That's just not sustainable as we're seeing right now. So yeah, if these guys do anything right, fix up on that defense, please. All right, let's go to the final story.
Sorry, Mark. The last thing I would say is like, if we're spending 200 million next summer, this is where we spend it. I mean, because he might be only 40 million because he's going to be on the last year. Huijsen might be
still need
40
a striker though, right?
No. I'm just breaking it down, right?
Okay.
Huijsen might be 40 to 50 million. That's 100 million on center backs, and then after that, spend the next 100 million on a striker, right? A starting striker with a backup, or starting striker with a left winger or whatever, if we don't get Tell, right? I think that's what you should do, right? Because if you want to look at goalkeeper, I don't think we should get another goalkeeper. What I mean is bring Petrovic and sell Sanchez. If Petrovic continues having the season he is now, that's a young up-and-coming goalkeeper who's breaking out.
Yeah, that's a potential solution.
Because that could be our version of a Martinez, right? Because Arsenal had Martinez back in the day. They chose Szczesny and Petr Cech. He went to Aston Villa and developed. And at the age of 27, he's balling out, right? Because Mike Magnan is very iffy.
Didn't they choose Leno?
Huh?
Didn't they choose Leno?
Yeah, Petr Cech was retired by then.
Leno. Sorry, yeah. So they had Leno.
They
right?
wish they had Petr Cech as an option.
But I'm saying because people keep saying Diego Costa because they don't watch the Portuguese league.
Nah, he's not as good as people think he is.
No, he is just PR Kepa. He is 6 foot. He's shit at cross collecting. He's good on his feet. He is screaming to me, and his release clause is 70 million, which is exactly Kepa's. He's screaming to me Kepa, but because
he's nowhere near as bad as Sanchez, but he makes errors on the ball too.
Yeah, no,
every time
that's what
I
I'm
see
saying.
him,
I'm saying he's better than Sanchez, but that's like talking about rock bottom. But if we're spending 70 million, that screams to me, Kepa. We spent 70 million on a 6-foot keeper who sucks at cross claiming, who's supposed to be good on the ball. How does that not scream Kepa to me? Right? Yeah. And we're also not going to be buying Thibaut Courtois. Mike Maignan is injury prone. Donnarumma is kind of having a decent season now, right? There's no other top class goalkeepers besides those three, I would say. Right? Oh, no, not really. Oblak is having an okay season, not the best. Yeah. So besides those four, there's not a lot. So we have to develop again. And Petrovic, if he's doing what he's doing this season, like continues his form, then why wouldn't I recall him back? So that's your 400 million. We got a backup for center mids, right? We have Ugochukwu with yeah, I know, but I'm saying no. I'm calling him back in the summer, not now. But I'm saying even in the summer,
I'm just saying like I just really hope, because remember, like we could have kept him this season, but he was kind of forced to get loaned out, and Petrovic
that's what I'm saying.
was
like we don't have to spend
it.
too much money. Like we spend 200 million next summer with the Huijsen and Gehi, and then get a top class striker in, like, say, Gyökeres or an Osimhen, who are both at 60 million release clauses. We can just buy a backup left back for Cucurella, who would maybe with the extra 40 million. That's a 200 million that covers all our weaknesses. We have two center mids coming in Santos and
you leave the winger positions as is.
No, well, we're apparently going to get Tell, right?
Garnacho, okay, yeah.
Garnacho, so we're covering the left wing position, and then next year we're getting Esteval in. And I think it's going to be Esteval and Neto, and then Madueke is going to get sold.
Is this true?
Right? So your left wing is going to be Sancho and, let's say, Teller Garnacho. Your right wing is going to be Neto and Esteval. And then, you have your Felix right now with Palmer, and then your striker could be, let's say, Gyökeres and Jackson. And then your back line is that.
Yeah. It's an interesting plan. It makes sense, but this ownership right now isn't making much sense. So my hopes are kind of like, it's up there. Let's see what happens. Like, again, I think this window is kind of diminishing any optimism I have about the sporting directors actually doing what's right. But who knows? That might change. Who knows? And then if the season ends in top 4 and a trophy, then maybe that changes my opinion too. But right now, optimism is at an all-time low for me with the SDs. Let's go on the final topic. Big up to everyone who is tuned in right now. 77 of you in the building. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already, because it does help out the channel tremendously, more than you can believe. We're trying to get to 50 likes. We're only 3 away. So if you can help us get there, if there's 3 of you out there who haven't smashed up that like button, haven't wiped your feet at the door, which I haven't said that in a while, be sure to do so, because it helps us out tremendously. More than you can believe. I promise you that. But thank you so much for those of you who have, as it does help out the channel in growth. Okay, the final topic I had for you guys was Felix Up For Sale. Obviously, the fan base was losing their minds about this whole scenario. So I figured, let me bring it up and let's kind of clear up some things, or even feed into some speculation. But the first tweet I have here is in regards to Felix to AC Milan, apparently. So Plenty Goal reporting here that AC Milan are very interested in João Felix. We continue on here. AC Milan is definitely interested in João Felix. However, more teams have inquired about Felix, making him one to watch closely in the coming days, according to Plenty Goal. Ben Jacobs also saying here, Chelsea are open to offers for João Felix. And then the last tweet here from Fabrizio, and I think the one that makes the most sense is remember in the summer, Aston Villa wanted João Felix but ended up joining Chelsea. Let's see if Villa could be a destination for Felix, but there are several clubs from around Europe calling his agent Jorge Mendes, so we will follow the situation. Now, my 2 cents on the situation with João Felix is, obviously, people want to look at the situation on the pitch. He's not getting nearly enough minutes. Palmer is, playing full 90s. Even when he's playing bad, Felix isn't getting a sniff on the pitch to, come in as a substitute or not. And people obviously want to jump to the conclusion and say that he's upset, he wants to leave the club, all this and that. When they hear that Chelsea are open to selling him, yeah, no shit. If the price is right, we could be open to selling him, because we didn't necessarily pay too much money for the player. I think he ended up being a bit of a bargain for us because he was out of favor at Atletico Madrid. I'll look up the transfer fee for João Felix in a bit. But Could he potentially leave in January? Maybe. It's a possibility if people want to pay the amount of money that Chelsea are going to be asking for, which I don't think is going to be cheap. But I don't think he's that upset at Chelsea. I know that might be a bit of a hot take, but I think with Felix, he understands that the 10 position is a hot commodity, but unlike Nkunku, he actually has gotten the chance to get the minutes. He has improved as a player, I would say, versus his first stint at Chelsea. I see a different João Felix now than I did back then. One that actually does a little bit more work off the ball. I know Maresca doesn't favor him. The quotes are already out that he never really wanted the player. But I think Maresca might be turning around and starting to trust him a little more, which is why, as of lately, I think we've seen Felix get a little bit more minutes on the pitch. We've seen Maresca try to incorporate Felix into the system with a Palmer, because I think he to be fair, Maresca really likes Palmer. I think Maresca really likes to depend on Palmer. He trusts Palmer, one of the most trusted players on the pitch, when you look at the whole squad. So, in my opinion, I think people are overblowing the situation. He could get sold, but I don't think it'll happen. Oliver, I don't know where you stand on this whole Felix train. I know you probably saw people kind of upset about this whole scenario. What are your thoughts on João Felix?
Yeah, people are going to be upset because he is a talent. I can't deny that. He is. I like him. He's a good dribbler. Sometimes there's a good finish in him. Maybe more could be desired with the finishing, but he definitely has something there. I'm just kind of indifferent to him. Like, people, there's this cult around João Felix where it's like, Maresca is an absolute criminal for not using him. And I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. Like, even when he starts games, like, he isn't this, people have the image of the Benfica Felix, the wonder kid. No, he's not that. He's 25 years old now. He's had multiple failed transfers. Like, he's just not that player anymore. And that's not to say that he can't be good, but I think people need to calm down with him. And it's not a travesty that he isn't getting these minutes, because there are better players ahead of him. And like I said, he isn't that guy anymore. So yeah, I'm just a bit indifferent to it. Like, I prefer him as a 10 to Nkunku, but at the same time, let's not act like João Felix hasn't had his opportunities. He did start that Ipswich game, and I know that was cost mostly by defensive errors. But
yeah,
that's true. I didn't see him keeping the ball well enough in that game. So, and I made the point as well in the Crystal Palace game. Like, you could maybe make the argument that you bring on João Felix in that situation, but do we back him to keep the ball in that situation better? I don't know. So it's pure indifference to me. Like, again, good player, he can give us something, but I think people need to calm down. He's not an untouchable like people are making out. Like, I think that's crazy if you think like that.
I can't disagree with what you're saying there. I think there is a bit of a cult following around Felix. I think there are people who think that this is like the second coming of Ronaldo almost, with the way they talk about him. But I think we haven't seen that player in a very long time. He has his moments. There's moments of brilliance, which it happens with most players. Players have their moments of brilliance, but you can't really depend on those moments. You need to see consistency, which, I differ in opinion. I think when he has played, he has been impressive at times. I mean, he does have his stinky games. Obviously, Newcastle in the Carabao Cup was one of them that come to mind, but even him, he was one of the few that it looked like he was trying to do stuff, it just wasn't working out, and it's just, that game in general was a horrible game. CP, where do you stand on this whole João Felix saga? I mean, do you care at all if he were to go? Or
I'm with the same thing as Oliver. I feel very indifferent. He's okay. Honestly, a guy who's in our squad who's better at retaining possession. I would rather have Jadon Sancho in the center.
Oh wow, okay.
He's good at retaining possession. He's a playmaker. We know this. He doesn't like shooting, but he's a playmaker, that's for sure. He likes link-up play. And you link up way more in the middle when you can link up with anyone than just Cucurella. I'd rather have him there than João Felix, to be honest. And yeah, I don't feel like if we sell him for 40 million, yeah, sure, I don't care. Hasn't
40?
done too much. That's how much we bought him for.
I figured we would probably flip him for like 60 or 70, to
Hell
be
no.
honest.
Are you insane?
No.
Well, we bought him for about 40, and he hasn't really ripped up trees.
70 million.
Yeah, I guess
70
so.
million. Kvaratskhelia, who's won a league with Napoli, is going for 60 million pounds, and you're telling me João Felix in 2025 is going to be going for 70 million for what? Fucking Conference League highlights.
Bro, Garnacho is being sold for 60 million. Come on, like.
Well, he's not sold. He
70
hasn't been sold.
for
That's what he's
Garnacho?
quoted. That's what he's quoted
Yeah,
at.
you're right.
I know, right? And Napoli is the only one who's placed a bid right now at 42 million euros for Garnacho. And so that's what I'm saying is like Kvaratskhelia went for 60 million pounds. You're telling me João Felix in 2025 for Conference League highlights is going to go for 70 million pounds when Napoli are literally first in the league with Kvaratskhelia when he left, by the way, and he's already won a Serie A with them.
Yeah.
And he's younger than them, Felix. No, I think he's 40, 50 million at most.
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying the marketability aspect of it. I mean, I get kind of where I was getting at too, like without
to look like
having
Kaká's
thought
son.
of it. Yeah. So, yeah, he looks like Kaká's son. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Also,
like,
one second. Sorry, the guy at DHL who keeps on telling me I'm indifferent about Felix, yeah, because he's not done jack shit. While Mark Gahey literally was a starting center back for England while going.
I just want to point out DHL. The
final.
fact that you got to go all the way back to Wolves isn't the best sign. But
yeah, Wolves was when again in September.
Yeah, but
We're
also
going back to September for highlights.
To be fair,
off the bench,
there are people who have come off the bench, have not played, that don't need to play consistent minutes to be consistent. But hey, you don't need to go that far back for Felix to have some Felix prop. Like you can even go as far as like
That's funny.
What was his most recent game where I was actually pretty impressed with his performance? Shamrock, I think, right? Was it Shamrock?
Yeah,
or was
it was Shamrock.
Morecambe. No, Morecambe. Morecambe, he had a good perforence.
Yeah,
again,
by the
it's
way,
not the
guys,
best opposition, but
By the way, that's League 2, and they're bottom of League 2. We're doing highlights.
I get that. I get that, right?
No.
Like,
I was more so finding out his points of just me saying I rate Mark Gahey more than Felix. Yes, because Mark Gahey has done more in his career right now than João Felix has.
I mean, look at the Euros.
Yeah,
the Euros was like a really fun example.
Thank you. Literally the best center back in the Euros for England.
Yeah.
When they went to a final.
That's why I kind of respect him for that reason. And
like, bro, what are we doing? He's better than every center back we have right now. He's one of the best center backs in this league. What are we doing?
Yeah. I just wish there were other center backs so we could be linked to. But hey.
No, the funny thing is, you know what DHL said? He's like, I want Bastoni, Barella, and Murillo. You know what the funny thing is?
I like
two
Murillo.
Two of those will never leave the league.
You're telling me Bastoni's not leaving Inter.
And
He's such
Barella,
a
you think
pivotal
Real Madrid or
part of
any other
Inzaghi's
club
system.
in the history is not like, you know what? I never thought of it, but maybe we should go after this Bastoni guy. Maybe because they don't want to leave the league, genius.
Yeah, I think we were linked to Bastoni very shortly last season.
Marshall, imagine this. You're Man City. You see the best ball playing center back in the world who's left-footed, play for Italy, and you're like, you know what? I'm never gonna approach him. You know why? Because he doesn't want to leave the league, genius. So if Man City haven't gone after him, why do you think he's gonna leave the league?
DHL. To be fair, Tonali
was mid-tier in AC Milan by AC Milan fans.
But also, that's about the time where AC Milan changed ownership. Maldini was getting sacked and all this shit. Like they're a mess as well in terms of their ownership.
And Marshall,
Tonali was sold as a result.
Is Tonali world class? Because Barella and Bastoni are
people
world
would like
class.
to believe he is. Yeah.
Tonali's not. Barella and
Bastoni is
are
such
world class. So you can't
from the research that I've
comparison.
done, Bastoni has been a pivotal part in Inzaghi's system. You don't get rid of a core player like that. So that alone should be a reason
you know
why
what he's saying? He said Tonali didn't want to leave. You know why he left? Because he had bribery charges in AC Milan. Do your fucking research. Don't argue with me.
No, it was more than just the player. Like, player didn't want to
He
leave,
had
but I
bribery
think the player
charges
was
in
kind of
AC
forced
Milan,
to.
my guy. You're
there's
talking like he fucking
totally.
Yeah, that's why.
That's not the best example. I'll be so
Yeah,
honest
buddy,
with you.
get schooled, kid.
Yeah, you could have said Lukaku, but then again, he's not Italian, so never mind. But yeah, that's the show, ladies and gents. There's not much else to talk about. Like I said, apologies, not my fault, but dry news week. Really not much to talk about in terms of news. I mean, I could have brought up maybe 2 other stories, but honestly, I'll just save them for next time. But that being said, we're going to raid out to Flawless over in Sarcasm City. If you guys haven't already done so, subscribe to his channel. Check out the the show he's got going on. Smash the like if you haven't done so already. Copy and paste his raid message so that what's up?
Sorry, one last thing, because I'm so sorry. I'm just petty like this. Headline reads, in October 18th, Sandro Tonali admits placing bets on AC Milan in front of prosecutors. So it was during AC Milan. Chat shit to me, bro. Don't chat shit to me if you don't know. DHL, hold that.
Give it up.
Gotta give it up, DHL. But yeah, guys, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. We hit over 50 likes, so big up to you guys. I appreciate the help and support and love on that. If you're watching this in the future, and if you got all the way to the end, kudos to you as well. Big up to you guys to put in the watch hours on the show. Hopefully we get you through your work week and work day, and hopefully we weren't too toxic, negative in this channel today, or toxic positive. We're just chill guys. We're just trying to be casuals here. But big up to every single one of you. If you're new here, also subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description for the Discord and all types of other stuff. So go ahead and do so. By that, show support. Also, if you haven't done so already, if you already are a member of the chat, big up to you. Members who are proper casual and higher tier get shout outs at the end of every show. I already did it earlier in today's show, but because I missed it last show, I'm going to give another shout out at the end as well. But let's go ahead and give shout outs to TM127, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian, A. Soliman, also EPL Turf, Pels, SDFC, Benny, CAA Mafia, and Adam CFC. Big up for the support, guys. Always appreciate it. Big up to everyone else who's also a member as well. And yeah, we'll see you again. When's the next time? Or when's Chelsea playing? Chelsea's not playing midweek, are they?
Next Monday.
We're playing West Ham.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah,
we're playing. It's so far
Graham
away.
Potter's West Ham, eh?
Yeah,
Well,
Graham
hey,
Potter's
we could
West
be
Ham
getting
that drew
Garnacho by
against Villa.
by Wednesday. We could be getting Garnacho by Wednesday.
Oh,
Right.
Right? The midweek when you do your transfer news.
So we'll be back on Wednesday for another Casually Chelsea show. Actually, I think Wednesday we're going to be doing a Chelsea hour.
Yeah,
Funny
you
enough.
just do that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a Chelsea hour. I'll crash out by myself. Thursday we'll do a Casually Chelsea show. Then we have Monday for the review. Maybe Sunday another Casually Chelsea show. I think we have to talk about the transfer window at some point and do our predictions. So that might be either a
Sunday?
Thursday show or a Wednesday show next week. No, because Sunday the window's still open.
Oh yeah, true.
The window closes on Monday. So I can't wait for that window to close. But all right, ladies and gents, big up to every single one of you. Copy and paste the raid message. We'll see you over on Sarcasm City. And as always, have a good night. Stay casual. Peace.